is education and health. This statement will be responded jointly by these committees. The other statement which will be responded to is by the Honorable Member, Ambassador Francis Sigei, the Member of Parliament for Sotik constituency. The statement regards the upgrading of the new Kenya Cooperative Creameries milk processor plant in Sotik.
Honorable members, let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Sergeant at Arms, please ring the bell for a further 10 minutes.
If you're just joining us, you're watching live pictures from the National Assembly chambers on this 30th day of April 2025. The members of Parliament are preparing to begin the business of the day. Quite a busy morning. There are a number of businesses that will be transacted, including a procedural motion on the exemption of business from the provisions of Standing Order 40, Part 3, that this House resolves to exempt the business appearing at Order number 9, 11, and 13 and 14 in today's order paper, which is available on the Parliament of Kenya website. From the provisions of Standing Order 40, Part 3, being Wednesday morning. They are located for business not sponsored by the majority or minority party, or business sponsored by a committee. And these businesses include a motion on the report of the Committee of the Whole House on the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025, and the question will be put. This bill was considered by the Committee of the Whole House, and the other is the bill on the Industrial Training Amendment, National Assembly Bill number 50 of 2024. This bill is courtesy of the Honorable Member Joshua Oron. This bill seeks to amend specific provisions of the Industrial Training Act, Cap 237, in order to recognize prior learning as a framework that acknowledges the skills, knowledge, performance, outcomes, and learning achieved through informal and non-formal learning pathways. Prior learning recognizes the fact that people who work in formal, informal, non-informal, and even Juakali sectors gain knowledge, skills, expertise, and attributes through practice, and should have the opportunity for the recognition of their acquired knowledge and skills. The bill, therefore, seeks to provide an avenue through which a person who acquires knowledge and skills through learning methods outside the academic environment can apply for recognition of their skills. The bill does not delegate legislative powers, nor does it limit fundamental rights and freedoms. The bill does concern county governments in terms of Article 110 of the Constitution. It will affect the functions and powers of the county government as set out in 4th schedule and relates to village polytechnics and homecraft centers. This bill is courtesy of the Member of Parliament, Joshua Odongo Orun. It appears at order number 10 in the order paper this morning. There will also be a special motion at order 11 on the consideration of nominees for appointment as members of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya. This motion will be moved by the co-chairperson, Joint Parliamentary Committee on the vetting of nominees for appointment as members of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya. That taking into consideration the findings of the Joint Committee of the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning and the Senate Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the approval hearing of nominees for appointment as members of the Board of Central Bank of Kenya, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 29th of April 2025, and pursuant to Section 11, subsection 2 of the Central Bank of Kenya Act Cap 491, this House approves the appointment of the following nominees as members of the Board of Central Bank of Kenya. 1. FCPA Sophie Moturi. 2. CPA Abdullahi Mohamed Abdi. 3. Ms. Beatrice Kosgei. And 4. Mr. David Simpson Osawa Owor. That motion will be moved by the co-chairperson, Joint Parliamentary Committee on the vetting of nominees for appointment as members of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya. And thereafter, the Committee of the whole House will convene and they will be considering various amendments to the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bill number 61 of 2022. This bill is courtesy of the Honorable Member, Millie Odhiambo Mabona. And at order 13 is a motion that will be moved by the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation. The motion regards the ratification of the agreement on fisheries subsidies. At order 14 is another motion. This one is by the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. The motion is on the ratification of the treaty establishing the Intergovernmental Authority on Development.
Number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader, are there papers from the Majority Leader? Okay. Honorable Murugara, Sir George. Honorable Murugara, are you tabling the papers on behalf of the Majority Leader?
No, madam. Where are they? If they were near, I would table them.
Give him the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, morning sitting. Number 1, report of the Auditor General on Turkana East Technical Vocational College for the year ended 30th June 2020. Number 2, report of the Auditor General on hybrid generation of off-grid power system credit number CKE 106601L for the year ended 30th June 2021, Kenya Power and Lighting Company, PLC. Number 3, reports of the Auditor General and the financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2021, 2022, and 2023, and the certificate therein, A, Gadhuri Secondary School, and B, Kwale High School. Number 4, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2022, 2023, and 2024, and the certificates therein in respect of A, Kagumo Teachers Training College, B, Kamwenja Teachers Training College, and C, Muranga Teachers College. Number 5, the annual performance report for the financial year 2023-2024 from the Ministry of Defense. Number 6, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2021, 2022, and 2023-2024, and the certificates therein in respect of A, Machakos Teachers Training College, and B, Kitui Teachers Training College. Number 7, report of the Auditor General on the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for the year ended 30th June 2024. And number 8, report of the third quarter for the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Board on the project's proposal approvals, disbursements status, and restrictions imposed on constituency account for the financial year 2024-2025. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Murugara. On behalf of the Majority Leader, we can now move to the next. Yes, I can see there is a paper also to be laid by the Chairperson of the Select Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity. Honorable Adan, oh, you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, the 30th April 2025, the report of the Select Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on Employment Diversity, the third report. Thank you.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Okay, Chairperson, Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity, you may now give your notice of motion.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that the House adopts the third report of the Select Committee of National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on employment diversity audit in public institutions laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, the 30th April 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honorable members, with your permission, allow me to reorder the order paper. So before we go to order number 7, I would like to reorder the order paper, and I would like us to go to order number 8, 9, and 10, and then we'll come back to order number 7. So you can read out order number 8.
Order number 8, procedural motion, exemption of business from the provisions of Standing Order 43.
Okay, the mover.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House resolves to exempt the business appearing as order number 9, 11, 13, and 14 in today's order paper from the provisions of Standing Order 43, being a Wednesday morning, a day allocated for business not sponsored by the majority or minority party, or business sponsored by a committee. Honorable Speaker, it is clear from the order paper that businesses at order number 9, order number 11, order number 13, and order number 14 does not fall under provisions of Standing Order number 43, today being a Wednesday, when there is a reservation this morning for business moved by private members. These are very important matters that we have to discuss this morning, in view of the fact that today we proceed on recess until the House resumes. It is for this reason that I do urge the House to allow that we exempt these 4 businesses on the order paper from the provisions of the standing orders on the private members' bills and motions that are to be moved this morning, so that we can deal with the 4 matters. With those remarks, I beg to move and request the Honorable Cynthia Muge, the woman member of Parliament for Nandi County, to second.
Honorable Muge. Give her the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the question that this House resolves to exempt the business appearing as orders number 9, 11, 13, and 14 in today's order paper from the provisions of Order 40, Subclause 3, being a Wednesday morning, a day allocated for the business not sponsored by the majority or minority party, or business sponsored by a committee. Okay, it's the mood of the House that I should put the question. So, honorable members, I now put the question that this House resolves to exempt the business appearing as orders number 9, 11, 13, and 14 in today's order paper from the provisions of Order number 40, Subclause 3, being a Wednesday morning, a day allocated for business not sponsored by the majority or minority party, or business sponsored by a committee. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Order number 9, motion, report of the Committee of the Whole House on the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025. Question to be put in third reading.
Honorable members, I now put the question that the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025, be now read a third time. Will as many as of that sorry, I made the wrong one, yeah? Honorable members, I now put the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. The mover of the bill, Honorable Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025, be now read at that time. And I also ask the Honorable Member for Kwanza to second.
Madam Speaker,
Give him the mic. Okay.
Madam Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025, be now read a third time. May I proceed to the... You'd like? Okay, I'll give you a chance, Honorable Nikal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I really appreciate that at long last we have got a social protection bill in place. But Madam Speaker, what I would really say is we must move, whichever ministry or authority is to implement it, because this is not the first time we're having a bill on social protection. There was one that was put with the late governor for Bomet, and actually it was passed, nothing never worked. And then we have a lot of social protection programs that are going on and are not coordinated. So I support that it be read at that time, but let us this time implement this bill when it becomes an act. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, may I now put the question? Honorable members, I therefore put the question that the Social Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 12 of 2025, be now read a third time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Millie Odhiambo, I was expecting you to say something. No, the ayes have it, but I think I'll just give her a chance because I know she's been very passionate about this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for indulging me on this issue. Indeed, Madam Speaker, actually the reason why I didn't speak is because I'd spoken to it at the second reading, and I know, Madam Speaker, that this is a bill we worked on very passionately with the late Honorable Joyce Laboso. So I want to agree with even Honorable Dr. Nikal that it's a good thing that this bill has passed, and we hope that the government this time will implementing, at least in honor of the late Honorable Joyce Laboso. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Millie. It would not have been proper for the bill to pass without you saying something, because I know you've been the one who has done the heavy lifting on this particular bill. So next order.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the administration of non-contributory social protection interventions to establish the National Board for Social Protection and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Industrial Training Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 50 of 2024, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Industrial Training Act and for connected purposes.
Thank you. So, honorable members, we can now go back to order number 7. We can go to order number 7. Which is statements, and let's go to statements. The members who have the statements are... Okay. So we have the statements that have been requested by the member for Lunga Lunga. Honorable Mangale, are you present?
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Member for Lunga Lunga? Okay, the member is not present, so we shall proceed to the next one. Member for Subukia, Honorable Gashobe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to request for a statement regarding the murder of Mrs. Wanjiru Nganga Mutonga and the general rise of insecurity in Subukia constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the murder of Mrs. Wanjiru Ng'ang'a, alias Shilo, and the general rise of insecurity in Subukia constituency. Honorable Speaker, on 18th April 2025, Ms. Wanjiru Ng'ang'a Mutonga, alias Shilo, a young mechanical engineering student, aged 20 years, was found murdered under unclear circumstances in a Quiz village, Subukia constituency, Nakuru County. On 17th April 2025, Shiro was working as a motorbike mechanic in a garage at Kiforonjo shopping center. She failed to return home from her workstation, which was uncharacteristic of her. Her concerned mother mobilized her neighbors to assist in physically searching for her at her workplace at Kiforonjo shopping center and the surrounding areas. Given that Shilo previously mentioned being followed by unknown persons on several occasions, but they did not trace her. Surrounding it, sorry, Madam Speaker. Her concerned mother mobilized her neighbors to assist in physically searching for her at her workplace at Kiforonjo shopping center and the surrounding areas. Given that Shilo had previously mentioned being followed by unknown people on several occasions, but they did not trace her, the search continued the following morning without success, prompting her mother to file a missing person report at Kiforonjo Police Station on 18th April 2025 under OB number 06 dated 18th April 2025. Honorable Speaker, later that day, the search party came across Shilo's body dumped near Lemuru Bridge, which connects Longai and Subukia constituencies. A close observation of the body indicated that she appeared to have been raped and later killed by suffocation. Shilo's murder, likely by people known to her, raises concerns on increasing insecurity in Subukia constituencies. Previously, 5 other people had been murdered in the area, and regrettably, no suspect have ever been arrested to date in connection with the murder. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. Roman 1, the step being taken by the security agencies to ensure thorough and expeditious investigation into the circumstances surrounding the disappearance and murder of Ms. Wanjiru Ng'ang'a, alias Shilo, and the swift apprehension and prosecution of perpetrators of her murder so as to deliver justice and closure to the bereaved family. Roman 2, the strategies being deployed to guarantee safety and security of residents in Akwisi, Baraka Rimuru, and Kiforonjo town in Subukia constituency and the surrounding areas in light of the prevailing fear of potential attack among the community. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Committee on Administration and Internal Security, Boltongoya is not here. Any member of the committee who can give a commitment on behalf of the committee? Yes, Honorable DK Kiplagat. We need a commitment. Let majority whip can give the commitment, and I'll get to yours, Honorable Kiplagat.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. You are all aware that we are proceeding for recess for a month. I can only commit 2 weeks after the recess.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. All right, the next request for a statement is from Honorable David Kiplagat, member for Soy constituency.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker, and sorry for that confusion. I think the whip was causing a lot of confusion. I thought I was to read my statement. Okay, request for a statement regarding the plight of unemployed teachers aged 45 years and above. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 42.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the plight of unemployed, trained, registered, and qualified teachers aged 45 years and above. Honorable Speaker, in 2019, the Employment and Labor Relations Court ruled that the age cap of 45 years imposed by Teacher Service Commission (TSC) for the recruitment of teachers was unconstitutional, discriminatory, as it violated the right to non-discrimination and denied deserving teachers the opportunity to serve for the remaining years until the retirement age of 60. The court ordered TSC to employ teachers above 45 years without age limitation. Honorable Speaker, despite the 2019 court ruling, many trained, registered, and qualified teachers aged 45 years and above continue to be discriminated against in recruitment. This group of teachers have been continuously applying for jobs, meeting all the recruitment requirements, but are still overlooked in hiring process. This happens despite Kenya facing a severe shortage of teachers, with over 110,000 vacancies reported in 2023, including a deficit of 72,422 teachers in junior secondary school alone. Yet more than 350 qualified teachers remain unemployed, significant number being above 45 years. Their exclusion from recruitment drive has fostered despair and disillusionment, calling for affirmative action by the TSC to offer them employment opportunities before they reach the mandatory retirement age of 60. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. I hope the chairperson is listening. Okay, yes. 1, a request on the number of registered teachers above 45 years who are currently not employed by TSC, indicating their year of graduation, year of registration, the current ages, and distribution countrywide, particularly the sub-counties within Uasin Gishu County. Yeah, and Bomet, no problem. 2, a report on the number of teachers aged 45 years that were absorbed by TSC in the recent recruitment, specifying their distribution, particularly in Uasin Gishu County. 3, efforts being made to implement affirmative action to address the plight of teachers aged above 45 years. And lastly, plans being put in place by the TSC to adjust the current recruitment framework with the aim of discouraging prolonged delays in employment and late entry into the profession. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson on Education, Honorable Meli, member for Tinderet. You would like to say something, Honorable Muge? Okay, let's give Honorable Muge a chance. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to make a comment, of course, thanking the Honorable DK for that very good statement sought from the Departmental Committee on Education. Honorable Speaker, I have noted with concern that the offices, the sub-county offices, TSC, do not have data, the data that Honorable DK is asking for, Honorable Speaker, because you cannot be in a country where you have teachers trained and teachers registered through TSC, and when asked to give details of the graduation years of teachers in those sub-counties, you're not able to give, Madam Speaker. It is a very bad show in terms of record keeping and in terms of proper planning in this country. Honorable Speaker, if the details of the records were available, we would be comfortable saying this institution knows how many teachers graduated when and how old they are, and they will be able to use that information to actually inform the decisions that are being made going forward. So we want to ask Honorable Speaker that that information be made available so that better and proper decisions can be made, because without data, you can hardly make a proper decision. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Response from the chairperson. Honorable Kamuren, you want to say something? I'll give one more person before I let you respond as chairperson. Honorable Kamuren.
Madam Speaker, I want to make it to... Thank you, Madam Speaker, but the goodness is that Kamuren comes from Baringo and I come from Kericho, and I think our fathers actually were confined to those areas, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to support what DK has mentioned. This one, Madam Speaker, should not be confined only to Uasin Gishu or Soi. This is a national issue which is affecting all the teachers, especially those who are above 45 years, Madam Speaker. I would like to commend that, Madam Speaker, that what has to be followed is they have to make sure that those who are above 45 years should be considered, Madam Speaker. So that is my comment, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You want to have a second go, Honorable DK? It's okay, I'll just exercise my discretion and allow him. Yes, Honorable DK?
Honorable Speaker, I think Mheshimiwa Cherot has made something in passing. This statement is for the whole country. It is not only in Uasin Gishu. What I was just saying is that the fact that I come from Uasin Gishu, I was giving emphasis, so that in case the other data are not there, then we can be considered as Uasin Gishu. But this is a national issue that needs to be addressed nationally. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the clarification I wanted you to give. Okay, let's go, Honorable Meli, Chairperson for the Education Committee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank the Honorable Member for raising this issue. This issue has been said a lot and several times by the Committee of Education, noting that a number of teachers, especially the under 45-year rule, have actually failed to be employed just because of that. And about, I think 3 years ago, the committee met and discussed the issue, and we made it clear that the teacher needs to be employed as much as, even if it is 2 years to retirement, he should be employed. However, this is an issue that cuts across the country, and I want to say that immediately we are back from recess, because we are going today, we shall be able to furnish this House with enough information, but I will request that the Teacher Service Commission themselves, we shall invite them, and I shall invite the Honorable Member and interested members to come before the committee and be able to interrogate this issue further, and therefore develop a very proper policy on employment of teachers, especially putting into regard the age. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. We can move to the next statement. That's the one by the Honorable Tom Boyer, member for Nyatike. Are you present?
I'm here.
Okay, give him the mic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to request for a statement regarding the state of the infrastructure of Kenya Power in Nyatike constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding the state of the infrastructure of Kenya Power within Nyatike constituency and its impact on power supply in the area. Honorable Speaker, the electricity transmission and distribution infrastructure in Nyatike is currently in a state of disrepair. Across all the 7 wards of the constituency, residents of Nyatike have raised serious concerns regarding exposed charging and fallen power lines, dilapidated poles, and malfunctioning transformers. These unsafe installations have caused multiple injuries to residents, especially during the rainy season, when the risk of electrocution becomes even higher. On Tuesday, 22nd April 2025, Mr. William Onyango was electrocuted by a fallen electricity wire, sustaining serious injuries, and is currently recuperating in hospital. Sadly, this is not an isolated incident. There are multiple cases of people being injured due to unsafe power lines and other faulty installations in the constituency. Additionally, Nyatike has been facing frequent and prolonged power outages, causing significant disruption to both social and economic activities in the area. The impact of these outages is far-reaching, with businesses reporting substantial financial losses due to the inability to operate consistently. Critical operations in hospitals are at risk due to absence or failure of power backups. The blackouts have also heightened insecurity in Nyatike due to non-operational streetlights and security systems. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy on the following. 1, status of replacement and maintenance of dilapidated power transmission and distribution infrastructure, including collapsed poles and hanging live wires in Nyatike constituency. Report on the causes of the frequent and prolonged power outages in Nyatike constituency and steps that the Ministry of Energy is taking to address and prevent the outages, including expected timelines for the implementation of strategies to alleviate the current crisis. Number 3, the measures that the ministry has put in place to compensate Mr. William Onyango, including reimbursement for medical expenses and consequential losses suffered by the family of Mr. Onyango, indicating specific timelines, and report on the number of victims and or deaths that have occurred due to faulty power infrastructure since 2017, and whether compensation of the same has been finalized. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Energy, or a representative? Okay, on behalf of Majority Leader, who's available? Oh, yes, yes. Honorable Gikaria, you're here. Proceed. We need your undertaking.
Okay. I went there twice, actually. I couldn't get the zero out. So.
Go to the next mic. I think the one next to you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Because of the sensitivity of the issue, Honorable Speaker, we request 2 weeks after recess. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Okay, and honorable members, we shall go back to request for statement number 1, which was supposed to be given by Honorable Mungale, member for Lunga Lunga. I think he's now back in the House. Could you proceed?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 44-2C, I raise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the status of construction of Lunga Lunga Sub-County Headquarters. Honorable Speaker, the establishment of Lunga Lunga Sub-County was initiated in 2012, with the construction of its headquarters commencing in Lunga Lunga town in the same year. Regrettably, the project has stalled for over 4 years, and there are current no indications of its resumption. Honorable Speaker, the absence of the fully functioned sub-county headquarters has severely hampered effective service delivery in Lunga Lunga. Public officers, including the county commissioner and head of departments, have been forced to operate from temporary, inadequate facilities, compromising efficiency, coordination, and accessibility of government services to the people. This situation has not only delayed critical administrative function, but also undermined the confidence of residents in government operations at the grassroots level. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following: the current progress of the construction of the Lunga Lunga Sub-County Headquarters, and second, the measures if any, being undertaken to expedite its completion in order to provide proper office space for the county commissioner, heads of department, and other public officers intended to operate from these premises. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Is that also to be committed on by the Chair, Departmental Committee on Energy? The Chair, Administration, National Security? Any member of the Committee on Administration and Internal Affairs? Yes, address the matter on behalf of the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, now that we are proceeding for recess, I think the response will be available 2 weeks after we return from recess. Thank you.
2 weeks, unless the member has something more to say. The Honorable Chief Romondo, 2 weeks.
Thank you, Chair. Because the response needs a lot of research to get to know where the project has reached and the contract period and all that. I accept that 2 weeks after recess is fine. Thank you.
2 weeks it shall be. Question number 5 on the order paper by the Honorable Amina Mnyazi. The question number 5 on the list for statements is deferred until the member comes to the House or to the future. Question number 6, the question by Honorable Joseph Tunoi. Tonui.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to issue this statement. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works regarding the stall construction of the Olengurwane Stadium. Honorable Speaker, the construction of the Olengurwane Stadium commenced in the year 2012.
Honorable Tonui, you're not audible to the House.
And Honorable Speaker, the construction of the Olengurwane Stadium commenced in the year 2012 under the national government through the Ministry of Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. However, more than a decade later, the project remains incomplete. This prolonged delay in the construction has not only denied residents access to vital public sporting facility, but also exposed the site to degradation, notably severe soil erosion has taken toll on the parts of the stadium grounds, posing a significant risk of structural collapse and potential loss of public investment if urgent remedial action is not taken. Moreover, with the reported transfer of the project to the county government of Nakuru, it is imperative to clarify whether this was done in accordance with the law. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning
and Public Works on the following. Number one, the terms under which the construction of the Ole Nguruwe Stadium, which was being undertaken by the national government through the Ministry of Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, was transferred to the county government of Nakuru. Number two, full details of the contract sum for the project, including the total amount paid out at the time of transfer, the outstanding balance, and any indication of the corresponding funds were lawfully and fully transferred to the county government of Nakuru, and whether the process was done according to the law. Number three, reasons that led to the contractor to abandon the construction site despite having received public funds, and what legal action, if any, has been taken to enforce compliance with the contract terms or recover misuse of public funds. Number four, the specific measures or plans the ministry has put in place to ensure that the completion of the stalled construction of Ole Nguruwe Stadium. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, that is fine. The chair, the Departmental Committee, Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works. Yeah, the Vice Chair, the Honorable Rindikiri. Please commit.
Yes, I've listened to the statement and the requests. We are proceeding on the 1 month recess. I promise that within 2 weeks of opening, we shall deliver the report.
Honorable Tunui.
Thank you, Speaker. I am satisfied with the 2 weeks. Thank you.
Yeah, 2 weeks it is. Number 7. Question number 7, the question by Honorable Cynthia Muge, MP.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Labour regarding the welfare of Kenyans working in the Middle East. Honorable Speaker, in November 2024, the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection launched a job recruitment program for connecting skilled and semi-skilled Kenyans with overseas employment opportunities, particularly, Honorable Speaker, in the Gulf countries. Those are Qatar, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. This program, which targets placing 21,000 Kenyans in overseas jobs in the first phase, Honorable Speaker, is part of Kenya Kwanza's broader strategy to address high unemployment rates, especially among the youth. Those are the people between 18 and 34 years old, which make 35% of the total population of this country. The Ministry, Honorable Speaker, contracted accredited private agencies, one of them being the Blue Wave International Services Limited, that was to facilitate recruitment to the UAE, and partnered with the Youth Enterprise Fund to provide soft loans that ranged from 185,000 to a tune of 650,000 shillings to cover for agency fees, the air tickets, the visas, the medical expenses. That is for the successful youth, Honorable Speaker. Whereas the ministry's initiative demonstrates a proactive approach to reducing unemployment by tapping into the opportunities in the global labor markets, several concerns have been raised about the process. Notably, Honorable Speaker, there are claims of exploitation and unethical practices during recruitment, where some private agencies charge illegal fees or mismanage funds meant for job seekers.
The Honorable Rachel Nyamai, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, I just noted that the Honorable Farah Maalim was sitting in the House. And though I've been around for long, I do not know the exact rule about eating in the August house. Actually, he has been eating nuts. The nuts are here. Honorable Speaker, he has eaten. He did not even give me a piece to eat. And he left the nuts here, Honorable Speaker. The nuts have been left here. I don't know whether for me to continue eating or to do what. So I just want to know, and also so that those who are in their first term can learn, is it allowed to eat, Honorable Speaker, in the August house? Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The nuts are here, evidence presented to you. Exhibit, Honorable Speaker.
Farah Maalim, understanding order number 1, the Speaker directs the Sergeant at Arms to take that foodstuff out of the plenary. And I'm doing this not only under the rules, but also for you are choosing to eat alone. Honorable Rachel Nyamai is sitting near you. The minority whip, the Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm just concerned about the fact that you have done this under Standing Order number 1, which is discretionary of the Speaker. How sure are we that you are not yourself going to partake of the nuts as the Speaker?
You are challenging the discretion of the Speaker, and that is not permitted. In fact, it could be disorderly minority whip. The Speaker has directed that the nuts be taken away from the plenary by the Sergeant at Arms, and the Speaker has reasonable means to buy own nuts. The Speaker certainly is not going to pursue those nuts. Where are we?
Honorable Speaker,
yes, Honorable Cynthia Muge, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll pick up from my second point, where the Honorable Speaker, whereas the ministry's initiative demonstrates a proactive approach to reducing unemployment by tapping into the opportunities in the global labor markets, several concerns have been raised about the process. Notably, Honorable Speaker, there have been claims of exploitation and unethical practices during recruitment, where some private agencies charge illegal fees or mismanage funds meant for job seekers. They have also subjected the job seekers to debt bondage due to the loans that have been tied directly to recruitment agents' accounts, and challenges of compliance with bilateral agreements in countries where labor laws may not adequately protect migrant workers. This situation, Honorable Speaker, necessitates government intervention to streamline the process for a long-term success. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following matters. 1, Honorable Speaker, the number of Kenyans that have been recruited to work in the Middle East, particularly in Qatar, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the UAE, including specific sectors to which they were hired, and the number of workers exported in each category in the specified countries. Honorable Speaker, I emphasize that there is a lot of importance in data. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I want the Departmental Committee on Labor chairperson to tell us or give us the measures that have been put in place by the ministry to protect Kenyan migrants workers from exploitation and ensure compliance with bilateral agreements in countries where labor laws may not adequately protect them. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, the oversight mechanisms by the ministry to ensure that private recruitment agencies operate ethically and comply with the law to curb abuses such as human trafficking, among other issues that have been on the forefront currently lately, Honorable Speaker. With that, Honorable Speaker, I thank you.
The chair of the Labour Committee. Yes. Are you responding on behalf of the chair, or you have?
No, I'm commenting.
You have a comments before the chair takes for this. Okay, the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say the statement by Honorable Cynthia is of paramount importance in this House. Honorable Speaker, bearing in mind that export of labor from this country is one of the key pillars that we are working under so that we can have our young people working outside our country. Honorable Speaker, it is very, very important, as she has stated, that bilateral agreements must be signed and must be adhered to so that we can avoid loss of life and mistreatment for the people that we take out there to work. Honorable Speaker, this is a very timely statement. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, Minority Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to thank Honorable Cynthia Muge for raising this issue, and especially the concerns over issues of possibility of trafficking of persons. And we have seen very many cases of women who are mistreated when they are out. Mr. Speaker, I'm just requesting that if the Honorable Member could consider asking the relevant ministry to consider long-term change of policy. Many countries with migrant workers are working towards employment opportunities at home. If you go to the Philippines, everybody who wants to get elected gets one, their agenda is how to see their own people back home. They are moving away from sending their people home, away from home, but we are doing a deliberate policy to send people away from home. Can we consider, is it something that you can consider as a policy, if it could be raised, of creating jobs at home, however humble they are? Thank you.
There being no further interest in enriching the... yes, the Honorable Chair of the... Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I want to echo what Millie has indicated. Honorable Speaker, this aspect of export of labor, it is becoming a menace. Just as the other day we saw on the television, now the government is being accused itself. You can imagine if a government is being accused that they have taken people's money and they have not been able to deliver their promises. I think what Millie has said, Honorable Speaker, we need to do a deliberate effort on a policy to be able to create jobs locally here. Instead of, we appreciate that the diaspora and what is remitted back to the country really assists in the economic growth. But it is important, Honorable Speaker, that we do and deliberately put into place measures that will create jobs locally, particularly on matters to do with industrialization and manufacturing, because that is key. And what you are doing from the counties through the national government, I think that is where we need to go, Honorable Speaker, so that we can be able, instead of all this madness of sending our children to be, mistreated away from the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, the Honorable Kaluma. Can you give Honorable Kaluma the mic?
I thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm just from a meeting by IMF and World Bank, where it was confirmed that by 2035, barely 10 years from now, we'll be having a population surge of 1.2 billion young people seeking opportunities for jobs.
In the globe.
Across the globe. And the numbers are even bigger in developing countries. I know Kenya is listed as a middle income economy, Honorable Speaker, and I'm emphasizing this because I saw the President mention somewhere in China that unlike other East African community nations, Kenya is a middle income economy. The others still remain listed as least developed countries, and then the media was running around saying that is undermining the other states. That, of course, is the fact, and Kenya is at a disadvantage because of that categorization as a middle-income state, as the President explained. But, Honorable Speaker, the consequence is that we may not have sufficient engagement or job opportunities for our young people. And this would necessitate that where our young population is surging, they will be seeking opportunities in states where the older population are the majority. What needs to be interrogated by the committee as they respond back to us, Honorable Speaker, is how we can ensure that our people, the citizens of Kenya going outside of our territory, have job opportunities, can participate in the local economy, but are also protected in terms of the surrounding labor practices. And I think this should not be looked at just in terms of the Middle East, but globally, all across. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, this current administration, I have to commend the President. He's doing very well. When I was in Washington, I was shocked. From Moma Bay Town constituency alone, in the last 1 year, over 17 primary school teachers who upgraded their levels of studies to graduate have gone to the United States. And then teachers who are struggling, sometimes without even adequate fare, are driving me around Washington, around Virginia, around Maryland. So we must avail ourselves of those opportunities and encourage government to create these opportunities, but on properly regulated terms, so that our citizens can meaningfully engage while they are also safe wherever they are. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I think the previous, the Honorable Gakuria, and for the benefit of the House, maybe one needs to see the thin line between labor export and brain drain. When you export out of the country drivers, and there's a need for both protection for the people who go there for casual purposes and do not need any skills, but at the same time to see if some of the skills can be retained in here, particularly for industrialization. But I don't know how much of that industrial labor, blue collar, cadre, goes to the Middle East to go and work in industries in the Middle East. Yes, Honorable Adan of. Can you give the mic to Honorable Adan?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I also stand to add to my voice that it is crucial that we try to look for jobs for our youth. Currently, the number of youth out of school, those who finished universities with certificates, those who finished other lower cadre colleges with diplomas, those who dropped out of school at maybe primary and secondary school level, who are in every household in this country, is seriously alarming. Looking at our environment, I am not seeing in the near future where we can create adequate jobs for all these youth. So this issue of looking for jobs outside the country is very crucial. Even if they don't remit back anything to this country, even if they only take care of themselves wherever they are, feed themselves, feed their families, just to themselves, that itself is very, very important. And when we see, as you said, the number of people going out there or looking for these jobs, and the jobs which are available there, there's no opportunity of what we call a brain drain. We already have too many brains in this country to fit into the economy of this country. So even if we send to other countries a few of those very highly skilled people out there, we still have many more in the country who can satisfy the market within the country. And therefore, much as it is very important
Honorable Adan, this is now a debate. You need to raise issues that you think will enrich the statement that is sought. Don't debate the matter. Madam Muge has asked for a statement. If you think you have additional information to include into that so that the chair can take note of that, and when the chair is responding, is able to encompass all that. That is the sense of allowing a few more people to partake in this statement sought.
The only thing I will add is that when the chair is looking at this issue, there should be very stratified objectives of making sure that the Kenyans who are going out, their safety, their security, and their working environment should be satisfied and corrected. Thank you.
That's noted. Madam Nyamai, you have something to add to?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to add my voice to this matter that has been raised by the Honorable Cynthia Muge, which is extremely important, Honorable Speaker. And the biggest concern, Mr. Speaker, is our children, the children that we are seeing out there, or our young people out there who are suffering in the Middle East. And I think what I would encourage the committee to do is to encourage the Ministry of Labor to get more involved, especially with the private agencies, because I think that is where the problem is. They must be regulated by government. I think this is something that the committee must look into, and also try as much as possible to monitor them when they get there, evaluate the places where they go, and ensure that even the country is able to benefit from them through the remittances and also some form of giving back to the country through taxation. Although these days people seem not to like the word taxation, but I believe that we are producing more graduates than we can absorb. So to me, this Jobs Maju is a big idea from the president, and we must laud government for it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Oundo, and then the Honorable, yes, the Lady Martha, yes. Please be very brief and just, if there's any gap that was left, you feel that should be included in the statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
And, just add that.
I just request the committee, the chair of the committee, while responding to the matter, they need to be very deliberate in their answer. And you have clearly said there's a difference between dumping excess labor and brain drain. Indeed, what we are doing currently, going to Middle East, this dumping excess labor, they were promised jobs, and it was all stories. Now they have been left on their own. All they can do is to go and suffer outside there. We need to stratify those who are in the Middle East. What's the cadre of the jobs they are doing? Are they manual jobs? Are they intellectual stimulating jobs? What kind of jobs are they doing? So that we just don't simply pick all the hustlers that were promised jobs and they have been dumped, so they are being dumped in the Middle East. Thank you.
Yes, the Honorable Martha? Yes, it's you. Who is that? I'm a little bit short-sighted.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think I want to support what everybody's saying here. The security of our young people who go out to look for jobs is very, very critical, because we have seen cases where they come back when they're in coffins, and circumstances leading to such deaths, it's never known, and nobody ever follows to the end. I just want to highlight the fact that we need to know how many of our young people need jobs abroad. We need statistics so that we know the number of young people that go out to look for jobs, the kind of jobs that they're going to do, so that we do not export too many out of the country and leave ourselves with nobody, so that we also have some people working for us. Otherwise, we shall empty the country and everybody will be going abroad for further studies with no control. So my appeal to the committee is to look at the number of the statistics that is required for those that need to get jobs out and those that remain. Otherwise, we shall suffer the brain drain. And we need other people to work for us as well, young people. Thank you.
The last one on this, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Westlands, Timothy Wanyonyi. The last
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Enrichment of the statement, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, while looking for jobs for our young people abroad is a noble thing, but Mr. Speaker, it needs to be regulated by the government, because they're mushrooming illegal agencies that are fleecing our young people. They're getting as much money from them and then just abandoning them or disappearing without anything. So the government must be serious about it, regulate it, and make sure even those agencies peddling this, they must be properly, Mr. Speaker, regulated by the government. Thank you.
Fair enough. The MP for Kesesi is the very last one now. And then make sure that you raise issues that have not been raised.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I think all our discussion from members who have contributed surrounds about establishing clear framework. Because over time, we've had the government through the ministry speaking about labor migration, signing of bilateral agreements and arrangements. But the big question that should be asked by this honorable House, where is this legal framework that is so fundamental that will protect the rights of Kenyans under the Constitution of Kenya, that is supreme law, remembering that Kenya is a supreme country. And for that purpose, if we are going to have this discussion, yes, I understand we want to respond to the challenges of our unemployment for our youth in our country. But sometimes we end up exposing our children to countries that are predators. They want to predate on our labor, on our trained skills. Remember, Kenya is rated as the best country among those who have proper training facilities on our human resource. The other day we saw a report in Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital where nurses who have been trained, who have acquired experience to provide services, healthcare services and support of nursing at the only second referral hospital, most of them have left the country. Now the institution is struggling. They don't have enough budget to go back to employ. And even if they go back to market to employ, where are they going to get people who have been trained to handle special cases of referral? Remember, a facility like Moi Teaching and Referral, which is a referral facility, has got special cases of treatment and handling of those patients that require specific nurses to handle that. So, Mr. Speaker, I think it is rightful that this House needs to rise, and let us begin to think around and guide on these ones. Thank you so much, Mr.
The chair of the committee or a member of the committee who is going to, or the majority leader, majority whip, who is here for this matter? We don't have the majority leader, ML, the minority leader, the deputies. Is there a member of the Labour Committee here in the House? Millie, can you now take this responsibility on behalf of the House? Because you have a collective responsibility. And I presume now that you have a broad-based government, you should be willing to take certain responsibility for your colleagues in the government.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have a broad-based arrangement. And within that broad-based arrangement, Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking carefully as a lawyer. And within that broad-based arrangement, Mr. Speaker, I undertake that this matter will be responded to within 2 weeks of return because of its urgency.
Within 2 weeks? After we resume. Okay, fair enough. The next one is the honorable member from Msambweni, Faisal Bada.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika. Nimesimama kuweka ombi la kauli kuhusu unyekuzi wa ardhi ya msikiti wa Kongo. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa mujibu wa kanuni za kudumu 44(2) cha nasimama kuomba kauli kutoka kwa mwenyekiti wa kamati ya kiidara ya ardhi kuhusiana na unyekuzi wa ardhi ya umma ya msikiti wa Kongo katika eneo bunge la Msambweni. Mheshimiwa Spika, msikiti wa Kongo una dhima ya kihistoria na kidini kwa kuwa ulijengwa katika karne ya 14 ya awali na Wajemi. Mheshimiwa Spika, Wajemi ni Persians. Msikiti huu ulitambuliwa kwa mara ya kwanza kama kumbukumbu la kitaifa na serikali ya kikoloni mnamo mwezi Juni mwaka wa 1927. Baada ya Kenya kupata uhuru, msikiti wa Kongo pamoja na ardhi inayoizunguka ulitangazwa rasmi kuwa kumbukumbu la kitaifa. Hata hivyo, mnamo mwaka 1986 inadaiwa kwamba watu fulani walishirikiana na maafisa waandamizi wa serikali kutekeleza njama ya kumilikishwa ardhi hiyo kwa rais wa wakati huo, hayati Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, kwa njia ya udanganyifu na isiyo ya halali. Mnamo mwaka wa 2009, akiwa amestaafu, hayati Rais Moi alifahamishwa kuhusu umilikishaji huo usio halali, na kwa hiari yake alirejesha hati miliki ya ardhi hiyo kwa msajili wa hati. Hatua hii ilipelekea kubatilishwa kwa hati miliki hiyo na kurejesha hali ya umiliki wa ardhi hiyo kuwa ya umma kama ilivyotambuliwa tangu mwaka wa 1927. Mheshimiwa Spika, kutokana na hatua hizo, serikali ilitenga ardhi hiyo kwa manufaa ya jamii ya Waislamu wanaoswali katika msikiti wa Kongo na kutoa hati mbili. Hati nambari 55034 kwa msikiti wa Kongo na hati nambari 55035 kwa kituo cha Kiislamu wa Kwale. Serikali iliteua katibu mtendaji katika Wizara ya Hazina ya Taifa kuwa mdhamini wa hati miliki za ardhi hiyo. Mnamo mwaka wa 2012, aliyekuwa waziri mkuu wakati huo, Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga maarufu Baba, alizikabidhi hati miliki hizo kwa jamii nufaika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mnamo mwezi Machi mwaka 2025, jamii hiyo ilishangaa kugundua kuwa kipande hicho cha ardhi kilikuwa kimetangazwa kuuzwa kwa bei ya shilingi bilioni 1,445,000. Watu wanaodaiwa kumiliki ardhi hiyo ni Bwana Mohamed Hamisi Mwachumba na Bwana Ali Mwadarashi Mwagariche, wanaodai kuwa walipata hati miliki ya ardhi hiyo tarehe 17 Februari mwaka 2025. Jambo ambalo linastabisha, ikifahamika kwamba ardhi hiyo imekuwa ya umma tangu mwaka wa 1927 na kudumishwa baada ya Kenya kuwa nchi huru. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kutokana na hali hii ndipo ninaomba kauli kutoka kwa mwenyekiti wa kamati ya kiidara ya ardhi kuhusu masuala yafuatayo. 1. Maelezo kuhusu namna ambavyo ardhi ya msikiti wa Kongo inayojulikana kuwa ya umma na iliyotangazwa kama eneo la kumbukumbu la kitaifa lililolindwa ilisajiliwa kwa umiliki wa kibinafsi. 2. Hatua zinazochukuliwa na Wizara ya Ardhi pamoja na Tume ya Kitaifa ya Ardhi kukabiliana na unyakuzi huu wa ardhi ya msikiti wa Kongo. 3. Mikakati iliyowekwa kulinda eneo hilo kama kumbukumbu la kitaifa linalolindwa. Na 4, na ya mwisho, ni maelezo ya kina kuhusu jinsi wizara pamoja na Tume ya Kitaifa ya Ardhi zinavyokusudia kuwezesha kurejeshwa kwa ardhi hiyo kwa wamiliki halali ambao ni jamii ya Waislamu wa msikiti wa Kongo. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Kuna mheshimiwa wote kuchangia hiyo. Mheshimiwa dada yetu kutoka sehemu hizo pia Mombasa nafikiri.
Basi asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Nami pia nibaki katika kumbukumbu za bunge hili kuunga mkono hoja iliyoletwa na Mheshimiwa mbunge wa Msambweni ambaye ametoka katika constituency mojawapo ambayo mimi pia ninamiliki. Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi kama watu wa Kwale tulitamaushwa pakubwa na jambo hili. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naiunga mkono hoja hii kwa sababu ni mtoto wa Kiislamu na ninaielewa historia kamili kama vile Mheshimiwa Faisal alivyoizungumzia. Mheshimiwa Spika, ardhi ya Kongo ya msikiti ni mahali patakatifu. Ni jambo la kuchangaza wezi, mimi nitawaita wezi, walaghai, waliokuja na kuweza kusema ardhi ile wao ndio wamiliki. Historia inajieleza vizuri sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwamba ardhi ile ni ardhi ya msikiti. na ilipatikana kwa njia gani, historia Mheshimiwa Faisal ameieleza. Haiwezekani kuwa mtu ametokezea hivi majuzi na anasema anataka kumiliki ardhi ile. Ile ni ardhi ya kihistoria. Mheshimiwa Spika, ardhi ya Kongo haiuziki na haiwezi kuuzwa. Ninalaani vikali jambo hili, na pia na mimi naongezea kamati ya ardhi ya bunge hili iweze kuingilia kati, lakini historia inajieleza vizuri sana. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na nikome hapo.
Mheshimiwa wa Keses, uangalie jinsi unavyoweza kuboresha hiyo
Mr. Speaker, unanipatia mtihani mkubwa sana.
Endelea basi.
Waje niongee kwa lugha ya Kimombo. Nitaongea kwa lugha ya Kimombo.
Sasa.
Asante. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. In any case, even if I want to respond word by word, be very sure that the Honorable Member Msambweni has already confused me. Deep words in the Swahili that I could not even fathom some of them. Now, Mr. Speaker, but on this particular issue, it is increasingly becoming a big problem where either public land or community land are changing hands all of a sudden, and it's becoming rampant. Of late, we are realizing a lot of cases here and there. Not even forgetting that we have a pending serious issue, grievous issue that has involved people dying.
Unachangia hoja, sisi tunataka uchangie ile statement inaitwaje kwa Kiswahili?
Kauli.
Kawira.
Kauli.
Kauli. Wewe unachangia usaidie ile kauli changia kauli. Usianze hoja. Bwana Kaluma.
Asante. So, ninapochangia Bwana Speaker ni kwamba imebidi kupitia mambo kama haya ambayo yametukia kila mahali, kwamba wizara husika ianze kuangazia ni nini kinaleta shida.
Imetosha.
Asante.
Mheshimiwa Kaluma. Inaitwa nidhamu kwa Kiswahili, point of order. Sema Bwana Kaluma. Hebu mpe.
Honorable Speaker, I'm standing under Article 27 of the Constitution, which speaks to the matter that nobody shall be discriminated based on any consideration, including language.
Yeah.
Honorable Speaker, the question being raised by Honorable Faisal Bade here is a very serious question. I remember the last time I saw Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga is when he was meeting the PS for lands over this very matter. Yes. And you know, when Baba meets and commits by any means, including on X account, that action is being taken, it is a serious issue. It is also serious because it is concerning a mosque, and people of the Islamic faith should be considered in terms of how we respect all places of worship. Honorable Speaker, why I'm standing under Standing Order number 27 is to ask whether
under Constitutional Article 27,
Article 27 of the Constitution,
yes,
is to ask whether the Honorable Member and the Chair of the relevant committee or his representative are right, Honorable, to address such a serious matter in Kiswahili when members who feel deeply about it, like us, whose disabilities in that language are well known, are in the House, Honorable Member. Could you direct the members to ask this question in English so that we can participate like any other member?
Mheshimiwa Kaluma, nidhamu. Mheshimiwa Kaluma, katika nidhamu yetu na katika katiba yetu ni lugha mbili ambao unaweza kuzungumzia katika bunge, ni Kiswahili na Kizungu. Kwa hivyo kama amezungumzia Kiswahili ako kwenye nidhamu. Mheshimiwa Kore Mayaka.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii niweze kuchangia hoja hii muhimu. na mimi itasema kwamba naliunga mkono hoja ya mheshimiwa kuhusu msikiti wa Kongo. Na mheshimiwa, mambo kuhusu ardhi imekuwa ardhi, hasa ardhi za sehemu za kidini, imekuwa ni donda sugu katika nchi hii. Na mheshimiwa, tumepata msukosuko mingi katika sehemu za sala, iwe ni kanisa, iwe ni misikiti, kuhusu ardhi na majibizano kuhusu uongozi wa sehemu hizo. Lakini ardhi imekuwa ni jambo ambalo limeleta matatizo mengi sana katika sehemu zetu za dini. Na mheshimiwa, ningependa kamati wakati watakapokuwa naangalia hoja hili kuhusu msikiti wa Kongo, wasiangalie msikiti wa Kongo peke yake, waangalie katika sehemu zote za dini ambazo ziko na mabishano kuhusu ardhi, iwe ni kanisa, iwe ni misikiti katika nchi hii. Tunajua hapa Nairobi wiki iliyopita tulipata matatizo katika msikiti wa Majengo. Tunajua msikiti wa Jamia hapa Globe, hapa Njiru pia watu waliumizana juzi kuhusu mabishano kuhusu ardhi. Kisumu kulikuwa na mabishano kuhusu msikiti na kanisa, hadi msikiti wenyewe ukapewa jina ambayo ni inahusisha madini zote mbili. Kwa hivyo majibizano aina hii kuhusu ardhi katika sehemu za maombi ni nyingi, na ningependa kamati iangazie sehemu zote ambazo ziko na mabishano. Asante.
Amekusikia kamati Mayaka, alafu chairman ya
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kuchangia kauli ya mheshimiwa ambayo sana sana yazungumzia swala la ardhi za kihistoria. Mheshimiwa Spika, ardhi za kihistoria na ardhi za kidini ni mambo ambayo kamati ambayo inaitwa National Heritage ama kamati ya kukuza kitaifa inafaa iangalie kabisa swala hili, na inafaa ya kuwa tuwe na sera ama policy ili tuweze kujua kama taifa, katika taifa letu la Kenya, ni wapi ambapo tuko na ardhi za kihistoria ambazo hazijateuliwa, ambazo hazijalindwa, ambazo hazijazingatiwa kwenye sheria, ili tuweze kuhakikisha ya kwamba zimekuwa na ulinzi ambao uko tafakari kabisa. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, nashukuru mheshimiwa huyu kwa kuleta kauli hili, na ningependa kwamba kamati ambayo itaenda kuangalia jambo hili liweze kuangalia ni sera gani ambayo tunaweza leta ili tupate swala hili la ardhi za kihistoria kuweza kutatuliwa kihaswa. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Mheshimiwa, alafu kisha tutamsikiza mwenyekiti wa kamati.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii ili niweze kuunga mkono hoja hili ambayo imeletwa na Mheshimiwa Faisal. Mheshimiwa Spika, mambo ya ardhi katika nchi hii imekuwa chanzo ya watu kuuana, imekuwa chanzo ya watu kunyakua ardhi ambayo si yao, ardhi ambayo ni ya community. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi kwangu nimeongea na Mheshimiwa Faisal hapa, na nimewahi kuuliza yeye ni kiasi gani ya hili shamba imenyakuliwa, na ameniambia ni eka 16. Bwana Spika, hili ni jambo ambalo hata inasidi wale ambao wanahusika, kamati ambao wanahusika na hii. Na Bwana Spika, mimi ningependa kupendekeza ya kwamba waziri wa ardhi mwenyewe aweze kufika hapa baada ya likizo ambayo tunaelekea leo. Bwana Spika, hili ni jambo ambalo ni gumu sana, kwa sababu hata mashule mengine, hata kwangu kuna watu ambao wamenyakua shamba ya shule huko kwetu, na hili ni kitu ambacho lazima serikali ishughulikie kwa njia ambayo inatakikana. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi napendekeza ya kwamba waziri wa ardhi mwenyewe afika hapa ili aweze kutueleza mambo mengi ambayo inahusu ardhi.
Mheshimiwa Nyikal, alafu kisha tutamsikiza mwenyekiti. Kidogo mwenyekiti, tumsikize mheshimiwa Nyekaro wa mwisho.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wa kujaribu kuboresha.
Mr. Speaker, I just want the committee to look at a much deeper question relating to land. The problem is so much that the documents that we use for land procedures and processes are no longer look valid. When the committee is looking at this, can they really look at documents like a search certificate? What does it mean you have a search certificate and then later on you find that the search certificate did not reveal all the details about the land? Why then should citizens pay for that certificate? Two, what we call titles. People have titles and yet transactions can go on and later on the title is found to be invalid. Where, and these are government documents. Where is the process and what do we do? And we need another way of actually using documents that have detailed information which the government can take responsibility for. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mheshimiwa mwenyekiti ya kamati la ardhi. Oh, unataka kuchangia? Na ni wapi kama mwenyekiti wa kamati ya ardhi? Kuna mtu yeyote kutoka hiyo kamati hapa katika bunge? Haya, mheshimiwa endelea, alafu hiyo yako ni ya mwisho kabisa kuchangia hiyo.
Mheshimiwa Spika, nashukuru kwa kunipa nafasi hii. Mwanzo nichangie ndugu yangu Faisal kwa ile mambo ambaye amesema. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, kitu cha kwanza ambaye sijui katika ombi ya hiyo request yake kama alisema, Mheshimiwa Spika, hatuwezi kuwa na land officers ambaye wanashiriki kwenda kufanya maovu haya ambaye anakuja kubadilisha hata kunyakua misikiti na ardhi za makanisa. Kwa hivyo sijui kama ndani ya tungeomba kamati watoe hukumu ama inaitwaje? Hiyo hukumu kwa wale ambaye waofisa wa mashamba walihusika katika ubadilishaji wa haya. Pili, vile ndugu yangu amesema kulete waziri hapa. Mbeleni tuliambiwa ya kwamba wanaenda katika system ya kidijitali kuweka mashamba katika system ndio tuweze kuondoa, pengine ndio tuweze kujua kama hiyo system ya kidijitali inaendelea katika ile kusajilisha wamiliki wa mashamba. Kwa sababu tukiendelea na hii mambo ya kawaida hii ya manyu, hiyo ndio inatusumbua zaidi. Kwa hivyo ningependa kamati itoe hukumu kwa wale maofisa wa mashamba ambayo walihusika katika uporaji wa shamba hili la msikiti. Asante
kama hakuna mtu kutoka ni Naomi. Mheshimiwa Naomi, wewe ni naibu wa naitwa nini?
Kiranja.
Wewe ni naibu wa kiranja la chama cha wale wengi.
Yes.
Unaweza kutueleza utapeana ahadi fulani ya kuhakikisha kwamba tumepata majibu kuhusu yale kauli?
Ndio naweza peana, na kwa sababu tunaenda on recess sasa, tukisharudi
recess kwa Kiswahili inaitwa nini? Likizo.
Likizo tunaenda kwa likizo, na baada ya kutoka kwa hiyo likizo tukipata muda ya wiki 2 itakuwa sawa.
It's so directed.
Asante.
Now, next one is the Honorable Member Victor Koech, MP for Chepalungu. MP for Chepalungu, proceed and put the request for your statement.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding the serious human life conflicts currently being experienced in parts of Chepalungu constituency. Honorable Speaker, on the 18th March 2025, the late Kevin Kipkemoing Etich, son of Mr. Paul Ruto, tragically lost his life after being attacked by a crocodile while washing clothes in Chepkulo River. Kevin, a 16-year-old Form 3 student at Nogirwet Day Secondary School, had returned home from Sunday service and proceeded to the river to wash his clothes and take a bath. Sadly, 3 hours later, his clothes were found floating midstream, prompting local residents to raise alarm. Upon investigation, a crocodile was sighted, confirming the tragic incident. Honorable Speaker, it is sad to note that despite being informed promptly, officers from the KWS, who are located barely 2 kilometers from the scene, delayed their response by over 6 hours. It was ultimately 2 elderly community members and a youth group who retrieved the body from of the deceased. This is not an isolated incident. Residents of Chepalungu have long suffered repeated human-wildlife conflicts with crocodiles, the hyenas, elephants, and other wild animals frequently attacking and killing people, livestock such as goats and sheep, and even destroying crops. These losses have devastated livelihoods, undermined community security, and severely affected the socio-economic well-being of residents. Further, Honorable Speaker, residents around Chemengwa, Kinyanga, Lugumek, Kabalwa, Kosia, Nogirwet, Kapkulumben, Chebelion, Kaboson, Kamosiro, Kamongil, Kaptumo, and their environs largely depend on casual works offered by conservancies and large-scale farmers across the river. Many also rely on sand harvesting activities along the riverbanks to earn a living, put food on the table, and pay school fees. However, their lives are now endangered by the growing crocodile menace, making daily survival increasingly perilous. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following: a detailed report on the measures taken by the Ministry and the KWS to mitigate human-wildlife conflicts in Chepalungu and the wider Bomet County. 2, Honorable Speaker, an explanation for the delayed response by KWS officers in the incident involving the late Kevin Kipkemoing Etich, and steps taken to ensure such delays do not recur. 3, Honorable Speaker, information on the compensation, if any, provided to the family of the deceased and to other victims of wildlife attacks in the constituency. Number 4, Honorable Speaker, details of a long-term strategies the ministry is implementing to prevent loss of life, protect livelihoods, and secure communities from recurring wildlife threats. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, number 5, is plans by the ministry to assist affected communities, for instance, construction of at least 2 footbridges across the river under the Kenya Wildlife Service Corporate Social Responsibility (CSR) programs to enhance residents' safety. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
We have another statement which is sought by Marianne Keitani for the same committee, and I will direct that you take it also so that they can respond to it all at the same time. These are very similar statements being sought.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife regarding an incident of human-wildlife conflict in Chepkilot village in Aldai constituency. Honorable Speaker, there has been an increase of incidents of human-wildlife conflict in Aldai constituency. Notably, on the 14th of April, 2025, a wild animal attacked and killed 6 sheep belonging to Mr. Josiah Kipkemboi Tanui of ID number 22154512 in Chepkilot village in Aldai constituency. The matter was reported to Bonjoge Police Post under OB number OB0514/04/2025. Similarly, on 13th of April 2025, 14 sheep were attacked and killed in the same village by wild animals. The attacks have left the families in a state of fear and agony, while also threatening their livelihoods as the wild animals target their livestock. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson on the Departmental Committee on Tourism and Wildlife on the following. One is a report on the measures being taken by the government to address the cases of human-wildlife conflict in Aldai constituency, and 2, measures being put in place by the government to compensate Mr. Josiah Kipkemboi Tanui and other victims who have suffered the wildlife attacks in Chepkilot village in Aldai constituency. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
There is not much interest. It's a very straightforward thing. Straightforward statement being sought. Yes, Kurgat, you have some.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, just to enrich the question that has been asked, especially by the Member of Parliament from Chepalungu, Victor Koech. Just, first of all, condolences to the loss of that young man. I feel that we need to know, is there any service level agreement, a turnaround time, because the station that is in the region is barely 2 kilometers away, and they were not able to respond. Why do we have a station there? What is the service level agreement that is existing or that should be there? And secondly, is it possible also to have KWS and the ministry to be able to map all regions in our country so that we know in particular areas, these are the risks that are possibly possible to happen in particular regions, because to lose a young man in such a sense of what you've been told is very, very sad, and we should not be able to lose any life if people are informed of the dangers that exist in particular regions. So I think we need to have a broad an information about that, the mapping of all possible regions that could have a conflict between the wildlife and the communities around there. Thank you.
You have already made your point. We just want to listen to the chair of the committee to give an undertaking, and if the chair is not in, then the deputy whip of majority, Honorable Naomi Wako, give an undertaking on both statements, on both issues, the matter raised by Honorable MP for Chepalungu.
Yeah.
And the MP for Madam Keitani can be responded to, because they're very similar.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I'll make sure that we'll pass the message to the chairs, and 2 weeks after our recess, they'll be able to get their response. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable the MP for Chepalungu, I hesitate to call you the name you want me to call you. You said you was called Mandazi.
Yes, Mandazi is my name. I wasn't happy you're eating cronuts here. I wish you were eating Mandazi, Honorable Speaker.
You want me to address you as Mandazi? Proceed.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope I don't see somebody else.
I was making a request.
Proceed.
Yes, I was making a request, Mr. Speaker, and I still write to the Departmental Committee Chair on Tourism to appear as a friend to the committee when the DG, together with the PS or any personnel from KWS, will be called by the committee, maybe to respond to this particular statement. I would wish for a direction that I be allowed to attend as a friend to the committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Deputy Whip, Chief Whip, you think you can take that responsibility to create that basically a rendezvous between the honorable member who's seeking the statement and the PS and the people who are involved in that.
Yeah, let me liaise with the chair and then we revert.
Okay.
Thank you.
There is another statement that was sought on this statement by the chairperson of the Committee on Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library. We will defer this one to the afternoon. And we defer this one to the afternoon. Now we're going for the responses. There was a status of Mavoko water supply by the Honorable statement which was sought by the Honorable Joyce Kamene, Machakos County MP, on Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation. Where is the chair of that committee?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker.
Is Madam Kamene in the House? Yes, I can see you. Proceed.
Honorable Speaker, on 4th of March 2025, the Honorable Joyce Kamene, the Member of Parliament for Machakos County, rose to ask a statement in regard to Mavoko water supply. And the Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member, was seeking the status of implementation of Mavoko drinking water supply project jointly funded by the Kenya government and the Belgian government. And then number two, the Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member was also seeking the steps taken by the ministry to ensure the completion of the project and the expected timelines for its completion. Number three, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member is seeking the interim measures being taken by the ministry to address the water scarcity faced by the residents to protect them from the unscrupulous water vendors in Mavoko. The Honorable Speaker, I have a statement from the CS Water. And the Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Water and Irrigation through the Tanati Water Works Development Agency is responsible for the implementation of Mavoko water supply project. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to respond as follows. On the question number one, the report of the status of the implementation of Mavoko drinking water supply, which is jointly funded by Kenya and Belgian government, the Honorable Speaker, the contract for the construction of Mavoko water supply was signed in 19 November 2017 between the Tanati Water Works Development Agency and the ASPAC International company by the Belgium. And the contractor, ASPAC International, was granted access to the site for commencement of works on 19 February 2018 for a period of 36 months, giving the intended completion date of the project on 18th August 2020 at a total cost of 2.8 billion funded by the Bank of Belgium government, Mr. Speaker, and also some part of it by the GOK. Mr. Speaker, the scope of work for the project comprised of several interrelated components that collectively enhance the water supply and distribution of infrastructure. The Kenya Meat Commission Dam, Mr. Speaker, was rehabilitated and the intake constructed alongside the pumping station with a 6.2-kilometer raw water pipeline installed to deliver 8,000 cubic meters of water per day to the new water treatment plan. Meanwhile, the East Africa Portland Cement Company dam underwent their rehabilitation and included the establishing of a pumping station and construction of 3.8-kilometer raw water pipeline to provide an additional 4,000 cubic meters of water per day to the same facility. The new treatment plan capacity as a 12,000 cubic meters of water was constructed. The distribution network was extended by constructing 3.8 kilometers of Nairobi line from Namanga interchange at EBZ and an additional 6.2 kilometers to Green Park Estate along the Mombasa Road, which also incorporated a 4,000 cubic reservoir and a 3,000 cubic capacity tank of 15 meters high, steel elevated, and pumping station. Finally, the bulk supply system was reinforced and rehabilitated. The Knoll to Rest water supply line, installing a new pump and repairing 3 existing pumps in Salama Pumping Station 1 and the refurbishing of Kimakiu and the Lukenya reservoirs, each with a capacity of 3,000 cubic meters of water per day. The system is currently operational, Mr. Speaker, and being operated by Mavoko Water and Sanitation Company. The company supplies water from the system up to 200,000 connections. On question number 2, Mr. Speaker, the report of the steps taken by the ministry to ensure the completion of the project and expected timelines for its completion. The project was completed on 21st March 2021 and commissioned on 14th April 2023. Therefore, the construction status is 100% complete. And the project was handed over to Machakos County Government, and it is being operated by Mavoko Water and Sanitation Company in line with the provisions of Water Act 2016. Currently, the project provides at least 10,000 cubic meters a day of water from a new water treatment plant and 5,000 of water from the Northern Collector Tunnel connected earlier this year to the residents in a mix of domestic, commercial, and industrial area around Mavoko. Honorable Speaker, the areas covered includes Mlolongo, at the river, the EBZ zone, Syokimau, Kenanie, Katani, and parts of Lukenya areas. Question number 3, the interim measures being taken by the ministry to address the water scarcity faced by the residents and protect them from the unscrupulous water vendors. Mr. Speaker, the agency notes that Mavoko and Syokimau areas currently face a severe water scarcity due to lack of water and last mile connectivity, which is supposed to be done by the county government of Machakos through Mavoko Water and Sanitation Company. To address the water scarcity, the agency is currently implementing the Mavoko Water and Sewerage interventions and the extension of pipeline project, which is a last mile intervention project through the government of Kenya, with the funding estimated to cost about 585 million. The project is currently at 1% complete, having already spent 183 million and requires a government funding of 402 million to complete. The last mile project aims to connect about 50,000 households and increase the access of 250,000 residents in Syokimau, Mlolongo, and the Athi River. Honorable Speaker, the scope of Mavoko Water and Sewerage intervention is the extension of the pipeline project, includes the 50-kilometer water distribution line ranging from 63 mm to 250 mm diameters of pipe, linking to about 60-kilometer sewer lines ranging from 200 to 600. The rehabilitation works for existing water supply and sewerage infrastructure, the provisions of water exhaust trucks to provide a technical assistance also to Mavoko water supply. However, this project is faced with the frequent extensions and completion due to the delays in Exchequer, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in addition, the ministry through the Thanati Water Works Development Agency is preparing the Mavoko Kitengela Last Mile Connectivity Project, which aims to increase the number of households connected to water to an estimated amount of 592 million. And it is currently under the consideration and funding by the national government. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Water and Sanitation and Education through the Thanati Water Works Development Agency is committed to ensure a sufficient, a reliable, a sustainable water supply system for Mulolongo, Athi River, the EVZ areas, the Syokimau, Kenanie, Katani, and parts of Lugenya, the Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, as a chair of the committee, I want to confirm that even as we go to the financial year 2025-2026, Honorable Speaker, as a committee, after recess, we are going to visit. We are going to visit the area of Mavoko and the Syokimau area, Honorable Speaker, to assess the situation, because already there is a contractor who was given some work. About 183 million has been utilized, and we are seeking to increase the resources, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that the houses or the community around that area have access to water. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The MP for Machakos, Madam Kamene Joyce.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, yes, they have answered the question, but they have not given any timelines, any commitment. Because if this project has taken 10 years, and you have done such a great project, you're being told water is in the tanks, and you're next door, and you cannot access any water. And it is there year after year. How is it that Exchequer is not being released, money is insufficient, and you did such a big, wonderful project like this? People are suffering from water. Why can't it be given a priority? Because this is revenue. After all, when you start supplying water to the residents around, revenue will be collected. Does it make any sense to make this a white elephant?
Fair enough. Hang on a minute, let Kemei also weigh in on that. You will answer that, let Kemei weigh on that also.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the woman rep for this statement this statement to this committee. As much as I appreciate what the chairperson has given concerning Mavoko and the areas, the environs, Honorable Speaker, I live in Syokimau, and for sure, water is very scarce. The residents get water using donkeys, and private vendors exploit the people. So when the chairperson here has said that the ministry is actually going to do the last mile connectivity, this has been the case for the last over 10 years, 15 years. Yet, we pay taxes, or people pay taxes for the same. People pay what is expected of them, not to forget the sewerage, Honorable Speaker. So I feel this answer is not sufficient. There are no timelines the way the county MP has said. It is like there is no seriousness that is given to it, Honorable Speaker.
Fair enough, the Honorable Bowen. The issue is this has been ongoing for 10 good years. Can you be definitive about the exact timeline when the residents of Mavoko are going to enjoy that massive government investment?
The Honorable Speaker, number one, I want to say, Mr. Speaker, as a committee, we take our work very seriously. Number two, Honorable Speaker, water is a devolved function, especially the last mile connectivity. Mr. Speaker, the national government, through the Water Development Agency, and in this case through the DANATI, they have done the pipeline, the tanks, the dams, and everything. And they were handed over, or the project was handed over to Machakos County government, which is now currently managed by Mavoko Water Supply. It is Mavoko Water Supply through the county government of Machakos to do the last mile connectivity. And Mr. Speaker, like that one is not enough, we have also taken a position as a committee, and we have asked the ministry now that the county government don't have that capacity and they don't have the resources. Mr. Speaker, we are also seeking to support the county government because the people who are there, the people who live in Syokimau, the people who live in Kananie, Katania, and those areas, they are also Kenyans who are paying taxes. And we are going to take a deliberate action. And I've said here, Mr. Speaker, that this financial year, 2025-2026, we are going to provide resources to help Mavoko Water Supply and Machakos County government to do the last mile connectivity for the people around there.
This financial year?
Which is going
to be from June?
Yes.
Fair enough. That's a very firm undertaking, and it's a presumption of the chair that you have already done your work very well. I don't see any more interest in this other than the Honorable, yes. Is it on the same? Yes. What is your issue?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Water supply management across Kenya, all counties being a devolved function, is the problem. It lacks in every county. People are suffering clean, safe water to drink, and the counties look like they do not understand what to do in that sector. We would love all the governors to take this issue seriously, not just Mavoko, even Busia, where I come from. Women travel miles and miles seeking for the same, seeking for water, which ends up bringing up other issues like girls being raped in forests because of this issue. So water is a devolved function, and we need to task the governors to do something about it. Pipe water every month into some homes. At the end of 5 years, we'll have so many homes getting piped water and safe to drink at the same time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On the same? Madam Rachel Nyamai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for also giving me a chance to make a comment, and especially on the matter that is being raised by the Honorable Kamene. And I fully feel her that when a project takes 10 years and people have not benefited, it stops being useful, Honorable Speaker. As much as we put those budgets every financial year, in the corridors of power, Honorable Speaker, the chair, Water, has told us that he believes that projects that are useful in this country are those small projects that are implemented within 1 year or within 2 years, and they are completed and people have access to water. So, Honorable Speaker, because the budget for water is not, it's high. And I think it is important to know that sometimes the committee's hands are tied. I'm not in that committee, but I'm a friend of the chair. And he tells me that you find your hands are tied, you have to deal with WAKE, billions and billions and billions. You have to deal with that particular project, billions and billions of shillings. You find yourselves dealing with another project in Tana River. What is it called? Kulalu Galana, billions and billions and billions. But when you look at projects that the committee funds in 1 year, we have dams. The other day he gave us 2 dams in my constituency, and people are taking water. And they are small projects of 20, 30 million up to 100 million. But talking about billions of Wake Dam and expecting this to be a project of Machakos, Makueni, and Kitui. And where we are, for example, in Kitui South, we are 150 kilometers from where that dam is. Billions and billions of shillings will keep going to those huge projects, and the committee doesn't have much control. But we'll keep financing sorry to say, to the benefit of others. Thank you.
I think there being no further interest on this, we'll go to the next response. The Energy Committee, the statement that was sought by the Honorable Dr. Ojambo Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
It is true, Honorable Speaker, we have a statement from the committee which was sent by the PS, the Principal Secretary in charge of Energy. And I know Honorable Odo is around. I've gone through the statement, Honorable Speaker. One of the questions that was raised is the regulatory framework under which Kudura Power East Africa Limited is operating, generating and supplying water in Western Kenya. Honorable Speaker, the response to that is that Kudura Power East Africa Limited is duly incorporated in the Republic of Kenya as a wholly owned subsidiary of RVE, a Portuguese company. Kudura is a social enterprise focused on providing decentralized renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure solutions to undeserved counties in East Africa. This company focuses on empowering rural and peri-urban areas by addressing critical needs such as clean energy, water access, and sanitation, aligning with the global sustainable development goals, particularly SDG 7, that is affordable and clean energy, and also SDG 6, clean water and sanitation. Kudura specializes in integrated system that combines solar energy, water purification, and biogas technology. The company operates under Section 117 of the Energy Act that provides, and I quote, that is Section 117, a person who wishes to carry out generation, exportation, so Honorable Speaker, exportation, importation, transmission, distribution, and retail supply of electricity must apply for a license, as the case may be, to the authority in accordance with the provisions of this Act. Kudura Power East Africa Limited was granted a construction permit by EPRA on the 3rd April 2019 for a period of 1 year for the development of the 10 solar PV mini-grids as listed in Table 1. Honorable Speaker, I hope Honorable Oudo has his, under the table is detailed therein. Before approval of the aforementioned construction permit, Kudura submitted the following documents required for generation, distribution, and supply licenses in accordance with the Energy Act 2019 and the Energy Electricity License Regulations of 2012. Again, here in listed from A all the way. These are the documents, Honorable Speaker, I don't want to go through, that are required for purposes of getting a license. Question number 2, Honorable Speaker. The agreement on lease granted to Kudura to impose tariffs on power supplied and steps being taken to regulate such charges. On the 25th of March 2020, EPRA granted Kudura generation, distribution, and supply license for operation of the 10 solar PV mini-grids as indicated in Table 1. Section 11C of the Energy Act 2019 mandates EPRA to set, review, and adjust electric power tariffs and tariff structures and investigate tariff charges, whether or not a specific application has been made or for a tariff adjustment. The approved tariffs shall be just and reasonable tariffs which enable a license, including Kudura Power, to inter alia, 1, maintain its financial integrity, 2, attract capital, 3, operate efficiently, and lastly, compensate investors fully for the risk assumed. Section 165, Section 165, subsection 7 of the Energy Act 2019, and the current retail electricity tariff review guidelines of 2023 provide for a review of retail electricity tariffs once every 3 years. Section 163 of the Energy Act 2019 requires that the tariffs and the contracts for supplying electrical energy and network supplies be submitted to EPRA for approval before execution. Kudura tariffs application for the 10 sites in Busia County, Western Kenya, was approved by EPRA board on the 30th January 2019, having met all the tariff approval requirements. Question number 3, timelines within which Kudura will upgrade their infrastructure to ensure continuous and uninterrupted supply of power to house states. The response is that the solar mini-grids can become unreliable during the rainy season, primarily due to the following: reduced solar resilience, radiance that could significantly reduce the electricity generated between 10 to 25% of the peak performance. B, during extended cloudy, rainy periods, battery may not fully charge, leading to shortages, especially at night or during the peak demand. C, sometimes power demand increase during rainy seasons, e.g. for lighting or indoor activities, putting more pressure on the already limited generation capacity. The mitigations for that, Honourable Speaker, is that the inverters that were previously problematic have been replaced. 2, the operator to strengthen their distribution network and work towards replacing all defective storage batteries, especially the Buyende area, within a month. And 3, EPRA has instructed the operator to develop a strategy to enhance power supply reliability during cloudy periods and submit a report on this to the authority within 2 weeks. And 4, EPRA will send a technical team to the sites for further probe on issues raised and come up with a number 4, a report on the terms of agreement, including whether the terms are subject to review to allow alternative service provider to supply power. The response is that, Honourable Speaker, Section 165(7) of the Energy Act of 2019 and the current retail electricity tariff review guidelines of 2023 provide for a review of retail electricity tariffs once every 3 years. Therefore, Kudura is required for the aforesaid provisions of the law to submit a tariff review every 3 years upon the expiry of the approved tariff, subject to review upon the expiry of the approved tariff, subject to review and approval by the authority. 2, the generation and distribution license were given for 10 years, within which they ought to have recovered their investment. After which the terms will be renegotiated or the sites handed over to a different distributor. Thirdly, the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum has developed draft mini-grid regulations.
Go back and come with a better answer than that. Energy is a very sensitive thing in this House, Honourable Gikaria.
I agree, Honourable Speaker. First, I want to agree with Honourable Audo. Under Section 117 of the Energy Act of 2019, we did liberalize distribution exportation, importation, and you just need to have a license. And Kudura was given a license 30th of April in 2020 by EPRA to generate and do distribution and sell. And that is the position, because it is a license.
Does the license give it a monopoly? That's
Yes.
what he asked.
Yes.
It gives
as,
a monopoly.
As he's saying.
Then how can you have a monopoly and at the same time you set
No,
your
we
own
don't,
price?
we don't have a monopoly. Actually, it is a misinformation to the public. Under Section 117 of the Energy Act of 2019, I was the chair then, and I moved those amendments here.
Liberalized.
Yes,
You mean you liberalized?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So that is the position, and I want to agree. At the same time, it is that, as the question he had asked, as to whether we have a review of this. And in 2020, within 3 years, they were supposed to do a review, but again, subject to if there is a request to do the review. And that is what Honorable Elisha Odhiambo is saying, that as a committee, we have asked EPRA, the independent power producers, with a view of reviewing the power tariffs as a committee and as a country. Because again, we are saying it adds up into the cost of energy and electricity in this country.
Passed on to the consumer. It's passed on to the consumer.
Correct. So that one we are in.
It's passed on to the consumer.
Correct. So that one we are in, and I want to agree with that. And I want to agree with that in the, we will be going back to engage through the question that he has said.
When do you give an undertaking to
I
come with
will,
a comprehensive?
if he agrees, because he only asked this question a week ago, I think, and we have a he only asked this question a week ago, I think, and we have a response 2 weeks ago, and we have a response.
So when are you coming back to the comprehensive answer?
The second week after recess, Honorable Speaker.
Is there any gray area you want to be, so that it is also captured on the Hansard and he has to? If I were you, I'd ask for the lifting of the veil to see exactly who are behind this Kudura, whether Gikaria or Farah Maalim have shares in that.
Ultimately, Honorable Speaker, you know, this country is a very complicated country. The better you leave things the way they are, sometimes the better for posterity and a good life. We are not interested to know who is behind it. We are not interested to know who is the exploiter. All that what we are interested, we're not interested to know who is the exploiter. All that what we are interested to know is the exploitation must come to an end. Precisely. My plea to the chair,
Yes,
that
the MP,
in the review,
somebody's on a point of order. The MP for Turkana Central, yes. Yes, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. I want to reiterate the position that has been taken by Dr. Oundo, Honorable Dr. Oundo, that there is need to unpack, to understand who owns Kudura. Kudura looks like it's private. And if you look at this, it's even giving us mini grids in Turkana. Just think this is like a Portuguese farm, which we need to unpack. And maybe there's need to understand why are they doing business in Kenya, with who, for who, and what are the shares, and what kind of service they are giving. Honorable Speaker, we need details. Thank you.
Yes, Ondo, I think you have done your... You're done on that. Gikaria, have you given an undertaking on when you'll come back with a comprehensive answer on that? On the same?
Honorable Speaker, I have committed that within 2 weeks we will be...
2 weeks on the resumption, within 2 weeks on the resumption of the House.
Correct.
It's so directed. It's so directed. Honorable Shuria. Education and Health, on the issue of help. The Honorable Shuria is not in the house, is he? Oh, yes, he's there. I can see him. Where is the chairs of who is answering? Is it health or education? You're answering joint. Do you want to take the first shot?
Yes, I'll take the first shot.
Proceed, Nyekal.
Honorable Speaker, this was a joint, we had to do a joint answer to this, and we actually sat with the minister, both our committee and the health committee and the education committee, and it was basically to be, the lead was to be taken by the education committee. I don't see my colleague here, but the report, from what the actual report hasn't come, but I can give a progress of what happened during the meeting with the minister, with the two committees.
You are supposed to give.
So the.
And you will have
a
comprehensive report.
Yes, we will.
No, don't give us the progress on that.
Yes, we will get a comprehensive report. I think with
that. You will be around at that time?
I will be around. I'll
Okay,
I think
enough.
it's best we get the full report, sir.
It has to be comprehensive. It has to be what do you call final in its entirety, unless, of course, there are other issues that crop up. But it's not. Okay, it's so directed. The Honorable Ambassador Francis Sigei, my former DC, when DCs were really powerful in this country. When DCs were really, when I first came into parliament, you were the DC in my district. And the districts were just a few those days, not this whole, the MP, the Trade, Industry and Cooperative. Who is the chair for that? Yes, Shinali.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm seized of request for statement by Honorable Ambassador Sigei. And let me mention this before I go to the specifics. Honorable Speaker, New KCC has been modernizing its old milk processing facilities under the Government of Kenya, financing from the year 2015 to date. The facilities had old, obsolete machinery replaced with modern, efficient machinery. The following factories have had a number of their equipment and infrastructure renewed, and the facilities are running efficiently. The first one is Eldoret factory in Uasin Gishu County, has received 610 million. Sodik factory in Bomet County has received 153 million. Dandora factory in Nairobi County has received 323 million. Nyahururu factory in Laikipia County has received 260 million. Kikanjo factory in Nyeri County has received 360 million. Kitale factory in Trans Nzoia County, 204 million. Miritini factory in Mombasa County has received 56 million. And a new facility in Nyambene, Meru County has received 509 million, a total of 2.475 billion. Several regions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me mention a few items being produced by these factories, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Dandora factory in Nairobi County produces fresh milk, yogurt, mala, butter, and cheese products. B, Eldoret factory in Uasin Gishu County for fresh milk, mala, long life, and milk butter. Nyahururu factory in Laikipia County for extended shelf life and long life milk products. Sodik factory in Bomet County for fresh milk, extended shelf life and long life milk products. Miritini factory in Mombasa County for fresh milk. Kitale factory in Trans Nzoia County for ghee, butter, and milk butter. Kikanjo factory in Nyeri County for milk butter and water bottling. Let me go to specific statement as requested by Ambassador Francis Sekei, MP, member for Sotik constituency. Honorable Speaker, I wish to submit the following response from the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Cooperatives and SMEs to specific issues raised by the Honorable Member. Madam Speaker, the first response is on the upgrading of new cooperative criminalist Sotik processing plant, including the current earnings of dairy farmers since its upgrading and measures put in place to implement buying of milk from dairy farmers at Kenya shillings 55 to increase their earnings and attract more deliveries. Honorable Speaker, several old obsolete machines were replaced with modern efficient machineries that was successfully installed and has been running some of the equipment that were procured and installed in Sotik and have been in use. The machines are: 1, supply, installation, and commissioning of aseptic tetrahydron milk filling machine. Second is supply, installation, and commissioning of refrigeration compressor. Third is supply, installation, and commissioning of 650 kVA generator set. The fourth one is construction of a production store. 5, supply, installation, and commissioning of an automatic CIP system. 6 is outsourced stream from biomass boilers as an alternative source to fuel, solar power as an alternative source of energy. Number 2, Sotik cluster farmers' earnings are currently at an average of Kenya shillings 85 million per month, which means it is at about 1.02 billion a year. On the third one, New KCC has continuously improved unit price for farmers' milk across the country, including Sotik cluster, and currently milk prices are at the national government guided price of a minimum of 50 shillings per litre of milk delivered to a New KCC facility across the country. The Honorable Member also wants to know steps taken to address low wages of casuals at New KCC factories, considering the high cost of living and inflation in the country, including payments of overtime, allowances as required by law. Honorable Speaker, 1, the New KCC employs staff as per the Government of Kenya labor guidelines and within the New KCC human resource policy. Secondly, dairy business in Kenya is seasonal, given majority of Kenyan farmers are weather dependent, and the business has seasons that allow staff to work on overtime, but only when volumes are above the normal projections. When such situations occur, overtime earned is paid as per the collective bargaining agreements guidelines. Third, where casuals or business staffs are engaged, depending on work demands, the earnings are as per government labor guidelines, which has categorized regions, and new KCC strictly adheres to the guidelines in all locations, including at Sotik factory. Thirdly, the member wants to know the measures put in place to create participation by the dairy farmers to be more involved in process of new KCC cooperative preliminaries and success. Honorable Speaker, and medium enterprises is undertaking the following measures to ensure the protection of members' funds. The new KCC has elaborate independent extension services groups run by farmers through their appointed leadership in various clusters across the country, and the Sotik region has very strong extension group. Number two, the new KCC leadership engages farmers regularly through its raw milk procurement and extension services department, services department, which is fully operational department that coordinates all the new KCC farmers through their leadership and various farmers cooperatives, and even directly to individual farmers. Thirdly, the top leadership of KCC, that includes the managing director all the way to their board of directors, occasionally engage with the farmers and their leadership across the entire country. And Sotik region farmers are among the stakeholders that are involved in such forums. Number four, Madam Speaker, a report on products produced at Sotik Milk Processing Plant and plans in place to vary the type of products manufactured, including plans to maintenance of the machines processing products such as mala. Madam Speaker, Sotik factory processes and packages fresh milk, 24 hours shelf life, extended shelf life, 90 days shelf life, and long life milk products. That's a 1 year shelf life milk. The milk products in the Sotik factory are in the following stock keeping units. Treta Final Aseptic, in this brand, we have Gold Crown, KCC Fresh, and Taifa. Treta Classic Aseptic, in this brands, we have Gold Crown, KCC Fresh, Taifa, and Paco. Third, we have extended shelf life. In this brand, we have Fresh 500 ml, Gold 200 ml, Gold 500 ml. Fourth, we have fresh milk in these brands. We have 10 and 20 liters, fill pack 200 ml, fill pack Gold 500 ml, fill pack Fresh 500 ml, fill pack 500 ml Taifa, fill pack 200 ml. Two, new KCC machine maintenance is undertaken as per the best maintenance practices as per equipment manufacturers' guidelines and is being implemented across all factories, including Sotik. Third, mala as a new KCC product is processed in Dandora and Eldoret factories that have the full infrastructure of mala processing fermentation and packaging, but distributed to all KCC sales depots, which Sotik sales depot getting mala from Eldoret factory that serves the following sales depots: Eldoret, Sotik, Kisumu, while the mala from Dandora is distributed to the following sales depots: Nairobi, Nakuru, Nanyuki, and Mombasa. Honorable Speaker, attached is the response that the Cabinet Secretary and annexures for transmission to the Honorable Member. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. The Honorable Ambassador Francis Sigei, is the answer satisfactory?
Madam Speaker, I think, first of all, I want to appreciate the effort which the chairman has tried to answer my questions. But if you look at the answer, it's a long story, very, very long story, winding and rewinding. And I was asking specific questions. And in that mix, Madam Speaker, we have lost out. I didn't get the answers for what I wanted. Number one, Chair, the prices of milk.
Ambassador, before you lose hope, the chair is here.
Yes.
You can raise the
I want to
specific
raise-
matter
I
that has not been
That's why I'm saying
responded to.
in Sotik is less than 50 shillings. And you have to confirm. And that's why, Chair, Mr. Speaker, that is why our farmers in Sotik are now selling their milk to the private processors. And we are going to kill KCC. So, Chair, I'm not happy with that answer of prices. Number two is the issue of that status of that processing plant. So, Sotik is a municipality now. It is supposed to be created, upgraded to the level of Eldoret, Nanyuki, Dandora. And we are asking for that one. I've taken time, Madam Speaker, to go and see the MD who was there, who has now gone out. And he kept promising that Sotik will be upgraded. And after 2 years, nothing has been done. Madam Speaker, I would like to see Sotik processing factory being upgraded. Now that is a municipality. Number three, we have casuals in this factory who have acted for a long time. And the problem with this factory is that people are being brought from outside to come and work in Sotik. Casuals should be confirmed. Those who have worked for several years, why can't they be confirmed? They are working, their families are suffering, and yet they have worked in that factory for a long time. Number three, Madam Speaker, is the issue of Masuamala. Madam Speaker, up to last year, Mr. Sigei, who was acting, who was the KCC MD, kept telling me that the line of Mala in Sotik was in place, and that the only thing they were doing was maintenance. But we are now realizing, Madam Speaker, this thing is being transferred to elsewhere. And yet, the quality of Masuamala from Sotik was very high quality. Madam Speaker, I would like to demand that this factory is reinstated in Sotik so that our people can be able to get the maximum benefit from our people. Chair, I want to disagree with the chair about the labor guidelines on the getting of the casuals and workers there. There is no fairness at all. We need somebody should come with a better answer when you come back. Because the casuals who are there, I know by name. And they have been there for a long time, while other people have been brought to this factory, and they are left out. So, Madam Speaker, I need a better answer.
Those are very clear concerns, Chair, by the Honorable Ambassador, member for Sotik. And although he went up to 3, I listened to you very keenly. You have raised 5
fundamental issues. So, Chair, when are you going to give a response? Because clearly you are saying that you are not satisfied. So,
Madam Speaker.
before I close the others, I'm seeing interest from the two members. Honorable Ruto, you also have interest in this? Make it short so that we try to combine.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also write on the concerns of my colleague, Member of Parliament for Sotik. Apparently, from the start of comment by the chair, he did mention about Eldoret factory, which historically is a known factory to have been handling milk from the entire North Rift area. But with the huge assets that have been put in place, it's so much painful to see how they're going down wastage with the whole cost that have been put in it. But I'm rising to put another concern of a team of people who facilitate this particular work, the transporters. Madam Speaker, you will really have to sympathize with the transporters whom their dues have gone more than 2 years. And they have been connecting as facilitating milk from the farmer's collection point of view to the factory. And up to now, no discussion has been raised. And I would wish the chair should consider this one also as a matter of concern. The other issue, of course, that is so fundamental is on how this issue of employment are being undertaken. And there's a concern that the governance people in the board have issues more. So chair has been mentioned in terms of interference. What we are calling upon is how can a factory that is a support of the government, remember it is under domicile under the Ministry of Cooperatives, it has absolute support of the government and is critically failing. I mean, as it is right now, what are we going to do? We need also to see how to sort out the governance issues and ensure this entity runs the business of distribution of milk after processing. And it has huge market, it has huge potential, it has huge capacity, but we don't understand what is a problem in terms of decision making. Thank you so much.
Majimbo Kalasinga, please make it 1 minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll just take a minute. Madam Speaker, I am an expert in the dairy industry. I'm an Egerton University product who did dairy and food technology. And I was attached, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, during my attachment, I was attached in Premier Dairy, Kabianga, just some few kilometers to Sotik Dairy. Madam Speaker, you cannot tell us that you are servicing a Mala line. Masiwa Mala requires only fermentation tanks, starter cultures, and a Tetra Classic machine which they are using to package fresh milk or UHT milk can be used the same line. There is no reason, Madam Speaker, to be told that Mala line is not operational. It must be reinstated by all standards. And two, Madam Speaker, the moment you remove the Mala line, you reduce the workforce. You reduce the casuals. The young men and ladies who are supposed to get jobs from that factory will go where? It also beats logic, Madam Speaker. These factories, KCC, were designed with a purpose. The Dandora factory in Nairobi was a dry milk border. KCC, Sotik, is supposed to process Mala and sell in the Western region. Madam Speaker, you cannot tell me that you will process Mala from a region where there is no raw milk. Sotik is situated in the center of farmers producing the best milk in this country. The BF, Madam Speaker, for information, the BF of milk in Sotik is the highest, 5.5% butterfat content. Best for this product. Madam Speaker, let's support this farm. Let the chairman come with a substantive answer that will tell this House that the fermented milk line must be restored and casuals must be employed. And this issue of dealing with casuals for years and years must stop, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
I think you've made your point. Honorable members, I would like to go back to the chair. Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The issues raised by members are very critical. And as a committee, Madam Chair, we had already made a program that we must visit these factories to see by ourselves, investigate, and come up with a clear report. Though we have done that, Madam Speaker, we have to confirm also that the Ministry of Cooperatives has acquired a facility, because we know what has been ailing the industry. Number one is management, and interviews are on to have a substantive general manager or managing director in that factories. And number two, there is now a facility to make sure when farmers deliver milk, they are paid. That one has been put in place, which was problem number one. These other issues, I request the honorable member, when we are going to Sotik, we shall invite you so that you are with us in the team. We come up with the issues, and finally, Madam Speaker, I would request the member that instead of coming with an answer in a short time, you allow we come with substantive answers after our trips in these factories. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Listening to you, Chair, and also listening to the Honorable Member for Sotik, the response is not satisfactory. And also bearing in mind that we have also gotten other issues related to the same from the Honorable Member for Keses and also the Honorable Majimbo Kalasinga. And the statement you have made is that you already have a program that you'll be going to the field. So can you give the House a date? Yeah, a possible date that you plan to go so that we can satisfy the member and also his constituents who are listening, because they would like to have a solution. After recess, which week?
Madam Speaker, after recess, I'll need about 4 weeks.
4?
4 weeks, 1 month.
Honorable Member for Sotik?
Chair, I think 2 weeks would be appropriate after recess. And I want to thank the Chair. I think he's becoming more pragmatic in answering the question. So I think 2 weeks will be good. I also, Speaker, we would like to invite
Order, Member for
as a friend.
Sotik. Actually, you have really spoken very well today, and you know that we have given you a lot of time to address this matter. The Chair has made a lot of effort, bearing in mind that he is not the Cabinet Secretary, and he has made a commitment that he'll be going to the field, and you have requested 2 weeks after recess. Chair, you may take your seat. It will be 2 weeks. Let's plan. Kindly, your committee to plan in 2 weeks after recess. Or do you have another activity scheduled? Please, give it the mic, please.
Madam Speaker, we have other activities scheduled. And you know very well we are going in budget making. I don't want to give dates which will fail us. As a House, we must be specific and we must give answers that can live.
Member for Kwanza, what is terribly out of order? Because your hand is up.
Yeah, it was up, Madam Speaker.
Sorry.
I have come in from another meeting, but I also want to ask the Honorable Member that if we have to invite stakeholders, I think it should also include the department, a member or members from the Department of Agriculture and Livestock, because I think those are the key fellows. I'll want also to agree with you, but if it's something to do with the KCC,
Honorable Member
I would say
for Kwanza, what is out of order?
I didn't say it's out of order. I simply said as supplementary.
You wanted to add something?
Yes. Which
Then
I'm saying.
you can conclude now.
Yeah, thank you. Which I'm saying that I think the best thing is that for you also to include members of the Committee of Agriculture, because that actually lies under the Department of Agriculture and Livestock. And I think I have an interest there as well. Yeah. Thank you, Madam.
Honorable members, I will agree with the chair, bearing in mind that there are other existing programs. and I would like to convince the Honorable Member for Sotik that let us go with the 4 weeks that the Chair has provided. Thank you very much, members. Next order, as per the reorganization that was done in the morning by the DS.
Order number 11, special motion, consideration of nominees for appointment as members of the Board of Central Bank of Kenya.
Mover. Chair, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House approves the nomination of FCPA Sophie Muturi, CPA Abdullahi Mohamed Abdi, Ms. Beatrice Koskei, and Mr. David Simpson Osawa Owor as members of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Kenya.
Honorable Chair, please move the motion before you go to the names. Can you please assist him with the order paper?
Madam Speaker, you know, Honorable Mwiti had distracted me. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that taking into consideration the findings of the Joint Committee of the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning and that of the Senate Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the approval hearing of nominees of appointment as members of the Board of Central Bank of Kenya, laid on the table of the House yesterday, Tuesday, the 29th of April 2015, and pursuant to Section 11.2 of the Central Bank of Kenya, Cap 491, that this House approves the appointment of the following nominees as members of the Board of the Central Bank of Kenya. 1, FCPA Sophie Muturi. 2, CP Abdullahi Mohamed Abdi. 3, Ms. Beatrice Koskei. And 4, Mr. David Simpson Osawa Owor. Madam Speaker, I beg, Honorable Speaker, the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Kenya is established under Section 10 of the Central Bank of Kenya, Cap 491. Further, Section 11(1)(d) of the Act provides that the board shall consist of a chairperson appointed by the President, a governor, a principal secretary to the National Assembly, or his or her representative, who shall be a non-voting member, and 8 other non-executive directors. The Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Kenya is established under Section 10 of the CBK Act, who are responsible for the following. 1, determining the policy of the bank, excluding the formulation of policy. 2, setting the bank's objectives and overseeing its financial management and strategic direction. And 3, continuously reviewing the bank's performance and carrying out its functions. 4, consistently monitoring the governance performance in fulfilling the responsibility of the office and ensuring that the bank objectives is achieved. And 5, assessing whether policy statements issued under Section 4B align with the bank's primary functions and objectives under Section 4. And lastly, maintaining constant oversight over the use of the bank's resources. Madam Speaker, the appointment of the Director of the Board of the Central Bank of Kenya shall take into consideration the provisions of Section 11(7) of the CBK Act. This section provides that persons shall be eligible for appointment as a director if the person is a citizen of Kenya, is knowledgeable and experienced in monetary, financial, banking and economic matters or other disciplines relevant to the functions of the central bank. Madam Speaker, the committee assesses the nominees against criteria of their academic and professional qualifications, their leadership and integrity, their financial probity, political neutrality, and conflict of interest. The committee also received clearance report from EACC, from Kenya Revenue Authority, from the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, from Higher Education Loans Board, and from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. All 4 nominees, Honorable Speaker, demonstrated that they had knowledge and professionalism in the banking sector. They possess extensive experience which is relevant to monetary policy, banking, finance, and regulatory matters, and they fulfilled all legal and constitutional requirements for appointment. Honorable Speaker, this is a brief CV of this particular nominee. I'll start with FCPA Sophie Muturi, who is a seasoned finance and governance expert with over 38 years of experience, spanning through public service, accounting and government organizations, corporate boards, and international development work. She has served in various capacities that include an accountant at CAD at PwC, a finance administration manager at Action Africa in Need Kenya, a director in Life in Abundance in International a director at Life in Abundance International, a chairperson of the Association of Women Accountants of Kenya, a member of the selection panel of IABC, a trustee at Micro Enterprise Support Program Trust, a member of APSEM, a trustee of Kenya Professionals Development Fund, a board member of the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, a member of ISPAC Public Policy and Governance Committee, a commissioner at SRC, and currently the chairperson at Life Abundance International non-governmental organization. FCPA Muturi holds a master's in banking and finance from Moi University, a bachelor's degree in commerce from the University of Nairobi, and is a certified public accountant, having studied at Strathmore University. The nominee advocated for strong regulatory framework, crypto regulation in internet banking at county level, and monetary stability. CP Abdullahi Mohamed Abdi is a finance governance practitioner with over 23 years of experience, especially in the NGO sector. He also served in different capacities in operational and leadership roles that include serving as an accountant and finance at administration manager at Womankind Kenya, a senior relationship manager at Chase Bank Kenya Limited, a board director at Coast Development Authority, as a chairperson of board trustees of Adoption Consortium Trust, and currently serves as an executive director at Womankind Kenya and council member at Koita Lyle Samoei University College. He holds an MBA in finance and is currently pursuing his PhD in development studies and leadership. The nominee advocated for strategic governance, climate resilience, and technology innovation in payment system. Our other nominee is Ms. Beatrice Koskei, a legal expert with over 4 years of progressive experience in public service and corporate governance. She's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, holds a Master of Law in Commercial and Corporate Law. She has served as a state counsel at the Attorney General Chambers, a legal officer at Kenya Industrial Estate, an associate at Jim Choge and Company Advocates, as an in-house at Council Liberty Assurance Company, and a managing partner at Koskei and Company Advocates. She has also served as a corporation secretary at Agricultural Development Corporation and as head of legal for Kenya Trade Network Agency, a general manager at Kenya at Legal Services and company secretary for Geothermal Development Company Limited, and is a senior consultant at Limo, Joroge and Company Advocates. Honorable Speaker, other nominee is David Simpson Osawa Awor, who is an IT and fintech professional with over 15 years of experience in digital and financial technology across Africa. She has served in different capacities in the private sector, including serving as a system administrator technology transfers at Kraft Silicon Limited, a software developer, systems and support engineer, senior systems engineer, a team leader in Internet Business Channel and a division head of mobile banking at Kraft Silicon Limited, and also served as a head of projects at Code Matrix and is currently a senior project manager at Kraft Silicon Limited. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in information technology from JKUAT, and in his interview, he advocated for technological modernization of financial systems and emphasized on cybersecurity and innovation in banking. Madam Speaker, the committee found all the 4 nominees that they possess the requisite knowledge and experience in either banking, finance, and IT law and governance, especially in the requirements of the CBK Act. They exhibited leadership traits needed as board members. All the nominees displayed zeal to strengthen the central bank's regulatory and oversight role, enhancing financial stability and supporting Kenya's economic growth. Madam Speaker, in recent years, the global financial landscape has witnessed rapid innovation, particularly in the realm of blockchain technology, virtual assets, and cryptocurrencies. These technologies are shaping traditional banking models and introducing new regulatory and security challenges, Honorable Speaker. It is therefore important that as this House approves this four nominees, Honorable Speaker, they need to update the Central Bank of Kenya systems to make sure that they are cognizant of use of blockchain technology. They need to leverage on use of virtual assets and cryptocurrencies, including making sure that that especially the virtual assets bill in this House, Honorable Speaker, is well to date with best practice, Honorable Speaker. They need to ensure that there is risk and that they do risk checks and ensure that there is no collapse, Honorable Speaker, of these particular systems. They need to also guide the bank on policy and regulation considerations and make sure that they use up-to-date technologies to advance the issue of cybersecurity and innovations, Honorable Speaker. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, in the last few years, the traditional banking sector has really changed. For a very long time, all Kenyans relied on on banks and bank products in the traditional way of our banking, Honorable Speaker. But of late, for example, you've seen uptick of digital loans now accounting to 52.79% of all active loan accounts, with a total outstanding balance, Honorable Speaker, of 158 billion shillings, Honorable Speaker. Loans like Fuliza, that overdraft facility, and M-Pesa disbursed 804 billion shillings in the last 12 months, as at March 2024, which averaged 2.3 billion shillings daily. Other products like KCB, M-Pesa, and M-Shwari disbursed 83.7 billion shillings and 42 billion shillings, respectively, Honorable Speaker. However, despite this growth, Honorable Speaker, the cost of these credit through platforms, Honorable Speaker, although they provide such a great convenience, they are very accessible within a very short period of time, and especially also accessible to those outside formal employment, Honorable Speaker, the interest rates remain very expensive. Honorable Speaker, I tried to do a small analysis of how these interest rates are, Honorable Speaker. And just to give an example, KCB M-Pesa loan, when you hold a M-Pesa a KCB account and you take a digital loan on your KCB account, Honorable Speaker, they charge interest rate of 7.5% per 30 days for amounts between 50 shillings and 1 million shillings, Honorable Speaker. The repayment period is within 30 days. When you calculate the efficient annualized interest rate, this comes to 130%. If you check, for example, the M-Shwari, the product by NCBA and Safaricom, at 7.5% for 30 days, they offer between 100 and 1 million shillings within 30 days. That brings an annualized rate of 130%. If you take as another product, the M-Corp Cash, when you, most of us are members of cooperative bank account, when you go to your app and you take that loan, Honorable Speaker, they charge between 8 and 12% one time for a period of 30 to 90 days. They will offer you between 1,000 shillings and 500,000 shillings, repayment period of 1 to 3 months. The annualized interest rates, taking the spread between 8 and 12%, is between 107 and 207% per annum, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, as a bank, the Central Bank of Kenya, which should supervise and make sure that interest rates remain affordable to Kenya, Honorable Speaker, they shouldn't just look at the products through the traditional banking system. But this access of digital loans, and especially even in our commercial banks, Honorable Speaker, emphasizes the need for CBK to go out of their way to make sure that interest rates still remain affordable, Honorable Speaker. We cannot have that when you go to seek a secured loan with a logo, Honorable Speaker, you get interest rate of around 100 of between now 12 and 20%. But the same loan which is offered through a digital platform, which has actually less cost to the bank, end up having an effective interest rate of up to and more than 100%. Actually, if I went through the list further, you'll see it will go even to more than, some of them go to more than 300%. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, the challenge of this board of directors, Honorable Speaker, is to think about banking sector, not as a traditional banking system, but take into consideration the issue of digital space, the issue of cryptos and blockchain technology, Honorable Speaker, and be up to speed rather than being reactionary. That when now people lose their money through some of this, like there's one of the one of the cryptos that collapsed last week. I think it's called IBEX, Honorable Speaker, where members, including some members in this house, lost millions of shillings, Honorable Speaker. Let them be proactive and not reactive to this, Honorable Speaker. Lastly, the Business Laws Amendment Bill, now the Business Laws Amendment Act that this House passed in December of last year, gave additional responsibility to Central Bank, which includes now bringing under the purview of the supervision of the Central Bank of Kenya the buy now, pay later program, Honorable Speaker, like the Lipa Pole Pole we have on our phone, like when people buy phones on credit and the Lipa Pole Pole, or the border sector and the Lipa Pole Pole, Honorable Speaker. And this additional mandate therefore means that Central Bank must be up to speed to make sure they have the requisite human resource, they have the requisite technology to take over the new responsibilities added to them, Honorable Speaker. So as CBK transitions, stability and consumer protection, and this is going to be very critical. A clear regulatory framework for virtual assets and active engagement in Pan-African financial integration is no longer optional, but very essential. Madam Speaker, in view of the following, the foregoing, the joint committees therefore recommend that this House approves FCPA Sophie Muturi, CP Abdullahi Mohammed Abdi, Ms. Beatrice Kosgei, and Mr. David Simpson Osawa Owor for the appointment as members of the board of the Central Bank of Kenya. Their wealth of experience will be instrumental in steering Kenya's financial sector into a future of stability, innovation, and inclusive economic growth. Madam Speaker, I respectfully urge my colleagues in this House to approve and adopt this committee's report for the appointment of these board directors of the Central Bank of Kenya. I beg to move and request the Honorable CPA Ruto, the great member of Parliament for the people of Kasese constituency,
the Joint Committee of the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Finance and Planning